Show. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Schulteis.
Do you guys have someone keeping stats?
We do not.
Well,
I do it on the fly. Well, when Tony will get here, I'll.
yeah, it'll be a lot easier.
Like at halftime, maybe like
Yeah.
if I sleep over there, would you give it to me? All right, concentrate on other things. We call worse. We call worse. How's it going there? Did you order? So I've got a bunch.
I do it on the fly. Well, when Tony will get here.
Oh, I got to turn off the sound. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Alumni Field in Wilmington, Ohio. We are here for playoff football on campusnation.com, your internet sports authority. We're waiting for one of our broadcast crew to get here, but you're probably familiar with my voice, Rick Phillips. My wife, Sydney Alexis Phillips, she'll be doing our switching and taking care of all the technical details. And we've got Jeff, I'll let you get further into your status because you have such credentials here. But Tony always says it a lot better, doesn't he?
Yes, I happen to like how Tony, even though it's from about 150 years ago, it's still nice to hear once a week anyway. Yes, Rick, my name's Jeff Merklin, and since Tony is going to be coming in a little bit late, I'll be doing the play-by-play tonight until he gets here. And also, once he gets here, I'll be doing the color, and I've got some information for the pregame.
And we want to thank our sponsors for tonight's broadcast, Sam's Meats, Collette Farms, John Roberts Excavating, Shelley McCune Realtor, McCune Painting and Renovation, LLC, Edinger Farms, Brown Funeral Home, and Kingdom Exteriors. Those are our broadcast partners here tonight on Campus Nation. We thank them for supporting local high school sports, particularly our Clinton County sports. All right, we'll go ahead and let you take it and give us all the background information on these two great teams, and we'll wait for Tony to arrive and get this broadcast underway.
Very good. Thanks, Rick. Of course, for me, having played in the playoffs when I was in high school, again, many, many moons ago, you get that feeling, and it just never really goes away, whether you're a player or a parent or just a townsperson who enjoys keeping up with the local high school scene. It's an unusual setup this year for the playoffs. Everybody was able to get in if they wanted to. My understanding is only about 60 teams, give or take a few, statewide opted out, and the majority stayed in. Now, that was kind of surprising to me because I would have thought that some of the teams would have preferred to schedule their remaining schedule out with competitive teams rather than get in the playoffs and perhaps get a really bad matchup in the first or second round with an excellent team. But to counter that, the argument was some of these schools, there were still many in Ohio that had never been in the playoffs.
Right. As Wilmington, it's been a while since Wilmington was in the playoffs.
That's correct. Right. So
I
may have decided a little bit differently if I had a team that wasn't very good, but I think probably it's good that I didn't decide. It's probably good for the kids to get the playoff experience. Tonight, we have Marietta at Wilmington. Marietta comes in at 2-4. They're from the East Central Ohio League, which includes Dover, New Philadelphia, Cambridge, and Warren, in addition to the Tigers. They are in Washington County and right on the Ohio River. They played against 4 West Virginia teams in their 6 games, so it's been a little hard to get some information on them. I do know that one of their victories was over Athens, which is, of course, where Tony and my favorite player right now, Joe Burrow, went to high school. So they do bring some weapons into the game. Rick, some people may wonder why Wilmington is in a region with several southeastern Ohio teams, including tonight, one from way over on the river. And but the reason for that is because in southeastern Ohio, there are not national anthem. Very nicely done by the Wilmington High School Marching Band. Getting back to the point I was talking about earlier, southeastern Ohio has very few larger schools, such as Division III, as Wilmington is. So often what happens is the OHSAA places teams from different areas of the state into that southeast Ohio region. And they often change maybe from year to year, but this was one of those years that Wilmington was put not in the Southwest District or the Southwest region, but the Southeast region. Marietta's coach is Jason Shobe. Their only prior playoff appearance was in 2002, where they lost in the first round. Their offense is, as we've seen so many times this year, the spread. Marietta averages 28 points per game. The players to look for tonight are number 8, their quarterback, Rhys Gerber, operating out of the spread. Rhys is 84 for 186 for 57%, 1,279 yards, and 8 touchdowns. So Rhys has had a nice year. Their primary running back, the fans will see tonight, is number 23, Zach Bartlett. Zach has run the ball 107 times for 577 yards, which is a very nice 5.4 yards per carry. Rick, one of the things that we want to look at, or one of the players we really want to look at tonight, is all-purpose back Tony Munoz for Marietta. He scored 10 touchdowns this year, and that's a good number in and of itself, but he's returned 2 kicks for touchdowns, 1 in each of the last 2 weeks. So if Wilmington wants to avoid a lightning strike, they should either kick the ball away from Mr. Munoz or make sure they have good coverage, maybe kick it into the corner. The defense for Marietta, they'll probably run out of a 3-4, and the one player that Wilmington needs to make sure they mark is Munoz. He leads the team in tackles and is a general difficult presence out there on the defense. For Wilmington, they come in tonight 2-3, and of course they're out of the Southern Buckeye Athletic Academic Conference. They are the 16th seed in the region. I should have said that Marietta is the 17th seed. Wilmington's coached by Scott Killen. He's in his 7th season. His record is 36-29. Wilmington has 3 prior playoff appearances. Their last playoff appearance was in 2009, where they lost in the first round to Cincinnati Turpin, 44-21. This year, the Hurricane, Rick, started out 2-0, then lost a game to the COVID virus. It was against Batavia. And Coach Killen believes that losing that game really hurt the progress that they were making. They're a very young team this year. They then proceeded to lose 2 tough games to very good teams, New Richmond and Western Brown. And last week, they were only down to awesome Clinton Massey, 28-21, midway through the third quarter. So the Hurricane has it within them to put together a really good evening of football. On offense for Wilmington, they average 312 yards a game and 21 points a game. They have a mixture of the spread and a little bit of the old-fashioned eye set, which brings back memories for me. I like the eye. Their quarterback, the starter for the first 5 games, was senior Peyton Hibbard, but last week against Clinton Massey, Cameron Mcavoy replaced him late in the second quarter to try to add a spark, and Cameron went on and had an extremely good game against the Falcons. Cameron was 7 for 14, 142 yards and 2 touchdowns, and I'm told that Coach Killen is going to start Cameron Mcavoy this game. So it will be interesting to see how he performs in what I believe is his first start of his career. He is a junior. As people who have watched our broadcasts before know, Wilmington has a 3-headed monster at the running back position in the spread. Senior Kendall France, sophomores Thad Stuckey, and Thane McCoy. Now, Stuckey leads the team in rushing with 340 yards and a 5.3 average. But coming into tonight, as we get into the playoffs, I'm thinking that you're probably going to see a little bit more from the senior Kendall France. Typically, it appears to Tony and I as if France gets a lot of carries in the first quarter. He does very well, but he does go both ways. And so to preserve his energy, the sophomores come in, and of course they've had an outstanding year for sophomores. Sophomore Jaden Tackett and senior Carter Huffman are the primary receivers that Cameron McAvoy will be looking at this evening. Tackett has 15 catches for 138 yards, 9.2 average, and 1 touchdown. And Carter Huffman, the senior, 13 receptions, 248 yards, and an average of a gaudy 19.1 yards per catch. 3 touchdowns for Huffman. So as the fans watch this, Rick, proceed, typically Tackett will be your primary possession receiver. He'll generally end his routes in the 8 to 12 yard range and look for the pass to either get a first down or maybe a good gain on first down. And Huffman is the long threat. Wilmington's defense will probably see a 4-2-5, I would imagine, versus the Marietta spread. Wilmington's defense is giving up 29 points per game. And the players to look for Wilmington, sophomore Derek Perdue, who I'm told is already receiving some serious looks from some colleges. He has 6 sacks for the Hurricane. And Carter Huffman, again the senior, leads the team with 3 interceptions. Should also be noted, Wilmington has an extremely good kicker, junior Parker Henry. Parker has 2 field goals, and he's perfect on extra points this year, 15 for 15, and that's 36 points on the season. So we're looking for an extremely competitive game. I think we're going to see quite a bit of scoring. I hope Wilmington can put together 4 good quarters of football tonight. The winner of this game, by the way, Rick, gets the number 1 seed in the region, which is Division III, Region 11, and that's Columbus St. Francis de Sales. And whoever wins this game will have to travel up to Columbus next week.
And they know that they're going to get a game if they go up to DeSales. We were up there a couple years ago for a Clinton-Massey DeSales game, and Massey actually lost that game. DeSales has a really good football program and beautiful stadium.
Oh, absolutely. And their tradition goes back many years. I think my memory is just fading. It's been many years ago, but in the 70s, they had a very good program then. They've had a couple kids out of that program go to Ohio State. They always have a load of talent. And it'll be a difficult matchup next week. But as far as that goes, for teams like Wilmington and Marietta, they'll take that when it comes. To get a win in the playoffs is a special thing.
That's right, yeah. And we hear that Tony Mancuso is in the stadium.
He's in the house?
He's in the house, so to speak, but he will be up shortly as soon as he has his dog help him up the stairs.
Well, the way he's been lately, he may get lost between his car and here. But I'm thankful to hear that. I've never done a play-by-play, Rick. I was actually a little nervous about it, but I had to kind of got my excitement going, and I was ready to roll. But I'm very thankful that our dilatory PvP man is here.
And he's wearing his Bengals orange and black.
Well, let me say this. I'm not allowed to admit what speed limit I drove to get here.
Well, you're an attorney.
However, let's say this. I think you can infer what I meant by what I just hinted at, ladies and gentlemen. But we are here live at Alumni Field, Marietta Tigers versus the Wilmington Hurricane. I'm Tony Mancuso, arrived and well. Got my water, stopped at the restroom, so we are ready for high school football playoffs. Jeff Merklin, state champion, high school quarterback.
I'll tell you this, buddy. You first texted me, and I thought you were in that massive wreck. And
no.
You had my heart going.
I don't get in wrecks.
I'll just wait till after the game to be pretty mad at you. Make my heart pound.
I was waiting in one. But we are here at a beautiful Alumni Field.
Great night for football.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
79 degrees today up in Marysville.
I know, dressed probably too warm for the occasion tonight. But better be warm than freezing, right?
I don't know. The Bengals had some good games in the past in the cold.
Second coldest of all time. There's the opening kick. And racing to about the 40-yard line. Wilmington heading left to right on your camera, dressed in the black. Looks like brown even tonight. Jeff, is it black or brown?
Well, it's different.
Yeah,
thankfully it's not.
It's a different shade tonight.
Thankfully, it's not that cami.
You know, this has. They used to have the look of like the Bengals. Tonight they have the look of the Browns.
I agree. We still like him, though.
Yeah, we do. So
by the way, Tony, that was Isaiah Ringling with a very nice 30-yard return on that kickoff.
So here we go, 1st and 10, playoff football, Ohio High School, Friday night. It don't get no better than this. Opening drive for Wilmington, and here we go. At the quarterback position is number 13, Cameron Mcavoy. He gets the start tonight, Jeff.
Tony, Cameron came in about midway to late in the second quarter last week against Clinton Massey, just to try to give him a spark, and he went on and had a wonderful game. He was 7 for 14, 142 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
now remember, we had our eye on him earlier in the year, and we thought that might be coming.
I am surprised that he gets his first start in the playoff, but he earned it last week.
2nd and 3 for Wilmington Hurricane, just underway here at Alumni Field. There's a handoff into the line. And it looks like Kendall France is tripped up.
Tony, I think the big stick on that was by Marietta's Carson Urban, a senior defensive lineman.
Here we go again with that running back by committee, Jeff, for the Wilmington Hurricane.
We talked a little bit about that at pregame. My prediction for tonight is I think you're going to see Mr. France get a few more carries.
It's interesting how Wilmington starts with France as the feature back, and then they sub him out. There's McAvoy's pass complete, and he's going for a touchdown, Jeff. Isaiah Ringling is gone.
Beautiful play.
Touchdown, Wilmington. Right out of the chute, Jeff. A swing pass by McAvoy to Isaiah Ringling, and Wilmington jumps out 6-0.
59-yard touchdown pass. That's the play, Tony, where the quarterback reads the defensive back on the wide out on the right. If the defensive back follows the wide out who's doing a short or skinny post, he'll dump it to the receiver or the running back coming out of the backfield, and that's exactly what happened.
And the kick is good. Parker Henry with the point after for Wilmington. And Wilmington jumps out 7-0 in this high school playoff game, round 1. We're 10:55 into it, Jeff, and Wilmington is off to the races right away.
Nice start. Very nice start.
Well, let's talk about some of our sponsors, right? Sam's Meats, have we talked about them tonight yet?
I think you're the first.
All right, football fans, stop by Sam's Meats, located here in Wilmington, Ohio at 1209 West Locust Street, to support a locally owned and operated business. Sam's Meats has fresh chicken, pork, and beef, along with deli cheese and lunch meats. Their meat deals are a great way to buy meat in bulk, helping to save you both time and money. The dining room is open for you to enjoy homemade hot bar meals and their made-to-order grill menu. Sam's Meats also offers catering, party trays, and a variety of homemade desserts. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturdays. Go check them out, Sam's Meats. Parker Henry with a kickoff to the Marietta Tigers, leading already 7-0, Jeff.
Tony, yes, you're going to see Marietta in the spread. The man at the controls is Rhys Gerber, and their top running back, Zach Bartlett, but the one I want you to keep your eyes on tonight is Tony Munoz. He's returned kicks for touchdowns each of the last 2 weeks, and he can score from anywhere on the field.
Looks like Zane Whittakin on the kick return for Wilmington. Could be Chad Lamp. I got 2 25s, Jeff. One of the two. Zane or Chad gets it up to the 37. We got 2 25. So here's Marietta on their first possession. The pass is thrown by quarterback Rhys Gerber.
This pass falls incomplete.
It was Tyson Schaefer
On the other end.
Looked like the ball was there. I don't know if the defender, Isaiah Ringling, who's everywhere tonight, got a hand
got a
on that or
touchdown
not.
already, makes a defensive play.
Nicely done.
Had a good day, huh, Jeff?
Already? Yeah.
Must be his day, October 9th. There's a completion out on the sideline to Donovan Wheeler. and brings up an early third down for Marietta, Jeff. Wearing the white, going right to left. We're at 10:22 and counting here at beautiful Alumni Field. We got the whole CampusNation.com crew. There's a pass complete, and I think he does have the first down, Jeff. It's to Weston Davis.
Well, what the fans are seeing here now out of Marietta is a classic West Coast offense where you're substituting short passes for what we did 50 years ago, which was running the ball. And I really enjoy watching it, especially when it's done well, which both teams have been doing so far.
Yeah, Marietta moving the ball with a first down. Gerber on the keeper that time, Jeff. Not much.
The play action, but instead of a pass, the quarterback keeps it up the middle. Typically, there's a guard pulled on that. I didn't really see if that's what they did there, but Wilmington stuffed it.
So the Tigers on offense, their first possession of this first quarter, already down 7-0. Does your game plan change any, Jeff, when you get behind that quick?
No, you stay with it.
2nd and 13 for Marietta. Gerber out to pass and is incomplete.
Knocked down. I'm trying to see the number. They're harder to see tonight. 39.
39 for Marietta would be, there's no 39 on my roster, Jeff.
Jeff Valentine makes a batted ball, gets a batted ball on his stats. And it was a good thing because Donovan Wheeler was wide open at about 7 yards down the field and probably would have taken it for a first down.
So it's Valentine of Wilmington with a defensive play, and it's 3rd down and 13. There's a ball deep down the field, and it's incomplete, but there's a flag, and I think we're going to have an interference on Wilmington, Jeff.
Well, we've seen that in our coverage of New Richmond where they really like just running one receiver when they're getting one-on-one coverage and just throwing it up and letting the receiver's athleticism try to get the ball. That's tough for a high school defensive back to defend, and often, as you see there, they'll commit the interference if the catch isn't made.
Which they did, and now Marietta gets a first down out of that pass interference call. So here we go. Marietta trying to answer the Wilmington score right out of the gate. 9:16 clock stopped. First quarter, Ohio High School playoffs, first round. Beautiful night. Alumni Field, Wilmington High School. What else do we want? Mr. and Mrs. Phillips watching and under the controls. State champion QB Jeff Merklin calling the color. There's a completion to Tyson Schaefer.
Again, just a little, I don't know if you'd even call that a skinny post, just a little look in. And it's really hard to defend when the patterns run right and the ball's in his gut.
Right, and it's all passing, we noticed, Jeff, right out of the chute. Interesting.
Well, I love that.
Yeah, it's fun to watch this type of offense. There's no running plays. Everything's pass, 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 pass. And here's a pitch out to the Marietta running back, number 23 with the carry, Zach Barlett. He's stacked up around the line of scrimmage for no gain, Jeff, bringing up a key 3rd down.
Yeah, Bartlett is their leading rusher this year, Tony.
So now we got another 3rd down for Marietta and about 6. Opening quarter, trying to answer the Wilmington touchdown drive. CampusNation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation, Ohio High School football playoffs. There's flags, and what do we have, a delay or movement?
Movement. Offsides.
So they actually marched that off against the Wilmington Hurricane. Big break for Marietta.
Huge
Turns a
break.
3rd and 6 into about a 3rd and 1.
I wonder just briefly, Tony, if the new jerseys with the numbers aren't different than what we've had this season, because I've seen a couple that don't seem to match up to my roster either.
Well, they're wearing brown tonight, usually in black. If that's not brown, then we're we got a bad angle. There is a carry by number 4, Tony Munoz, and a great tackle.
Well, Wilmington tonight is going to
Carter
mark him.
Huffman, great play.
Wilmington is going to and has to mark Munoz everywhere he goes. He's quite a player, and he can attack from anywhere.
Well, this is not field goal or punting distance for the Marietta Tigers. They're going for it early. Big 4th down, 4th and 5.
Look for somebody about 7 to 8 yards, getting in the middle of a zone.
Gerber back to pass, and he misses his man, number 7, Tyson Schaefer, the intended receiver. So Marietta turns it over on downs. Jeff, tell us a little bit about Collette Farms.
I'll be happy to. Collette Farms Pioneer Seed is a family-owned and operated seed dealership offering Pioneer brand products, seed treatments, and trusted agronomic advice for over 45 years. With the use of local data, technology, and digital tools, we help farmers maximize every acre's potential. Count on us to be there throughout the season, working directly with you. Collette Farms Pioneer Seed, farmers just like you.
Wilmington 7, Marietta 0. Marietta gives up the ball on downs. Wilmington takes over on about the 33-yard line. There's McAvoy handing the ball into the line. It's Kendall France again. Like we said, Jeff, a lot of times Kendall gets only the first series, and then we don't see him for a while. Now here he's in there the second series.
And he usually has really good numbers
Yes.
at the end of his
He gets a
appearance.
touchdown on the first series, and we never see him run again. We deemed him our Eric Dickerson / Eddie George kind of look alike. He's a combo of those two. McAvoy drops back to pass and throws deep downfield.
Oh, he's got him. Oh, just a little.
Had Carter Huffman open, but overthrows him by a yard.
Carter Huffman. Ball's incomplete.
So Peyton Hibbert, is he healthy tonight, Jeff?
Yes, the decision was
Yeah, wow,
the coach's
interesting.
decision.
Interesting. You play most of the year with Hibbert as your quarterback, and when it's time for playoffs, you go to the junior Cameron McAvoy.
Well, I think we, as you said earlier, both kids have impressed us from game
we like
one.
them both. We like them both. So here's a 3rd and 6 for Wilmington, and they keep it on the ground. Kendall France looks like he's just going to be short, Jeff.
4th and 2.
Now what are you doing? Are
Punt.
you going or punting?
Punt.
Well, I don't see a punter on the field yet. I don't see a punter, Jeff. It looks like they might be going for it. Interesting if they do it
Okay.
this early. They are going.
Well, as I've said
Wow.
before, that's why Coach Killen is making money to do this, and I'm up here with you.
Well, we're up here making money broadcasting.
Big money.
May have Dandy Don singing, which will show you how much money we're worth. There's a handoff into the line, and
got
of
it.
course, it was the correct call because they pick up the first down. So here we are questioning the call on 4th and short, thinking that's a punting down. Wilmington goes for it, and of course they convert.
Well, I like that strategy there. I probably would have punted this early in the game with a 7-0 lead, but he knows what he's doing.
Well, Scott Killen trusts his offense, so they go for it on 4th down at a risky field position and convert. So here we go, 1st down now, Wilmington Hurricane on about the 44. There's a handoff to Kendall France, who, like we said, Jeff, is getting the bulk of the carries.
Going back to Coach Killenoni's offense, don't forget, Wilmington played Clinton Massey last week, as we all know, a state powerhouse, and it was only 28-21 midway through the 3rd quarter behind McAvoy. So I think they've made great improvement.
We were quite surprised announcing those scores from the other side of our network.
Yeah, and I've got a thing to make here. The Wi-Fi here in the press box was absolutely atrocious. There's so many different people that are using it, besides, I guess, the Verizon people that were listening. So we've gone to a different Wi-Fi. We are now, the picture is visible now for a lot of people that were out there waiting for actually to see the game. We apologize, but it was beyond our control. It's only what we can get here in the press box.
All right, so now we have visual and audio, so the fans can see the action on the field.
Tony Munoz. That play is good for Wilmington.
So Wilmington converts a first down.
I do want to correct something, Tony. That was the same play that was the touchdown play, and that's not a read by the quarterback. That's a called play with the wideouts blocking downfield.
And Wilmington leading 7-0 on a long catch and run. And there's McAvoy's pass down the field that is broken up, and what a jump ball.
Good coverage.
Great coverage down there by, let's see if we can catch the number.
I think that's Rhys Gerber over there.
For the people that didn't catch the video part of the broadcast tonight, it was a long touchdown pass, Cameron McAvoy to Isaiah Ringling, who ran the distance for a 7-0 early lead with 10:50 to go. We're still at 7-0 Wilmington. There's a handoff into the line to Kendall France again, and he stacked up, Jeff. Not much there. What do you think about a 3rd and 10 play there on the ground?
Number 9, Kendall France, the ball.
That was second, I believe.
Top of the line, number 55, Carson
3rd and 8 coming up, Tony. Let's look for, I'm guessing he's going to look for Carter Huffman on this.
For all you people who have just tuned in, the entire video of the podcast will be available if you want to go back and see it. But now we are back live, and we'll have the video of the earlier events when we need them. There's McAvoy back to pass and
Nice.
guns a completion. It's caught out there, Jeff.
Is it Carter?
Number 81, Carter Huffman again on the receiving end.
I think I'm about.
Carter Huffman's got that Cooper Kupp, Adam Thielen kind of cut to him,
Yes, he
doesn't
does.
From our day, it would be Chris Collinsworth, who's now announcing the game. So people are like, well, Chris Collinsworth played? Yes, he did.
And he was very
And he
good.
was very, very good. That dude is somebody, whatever he touches, he's good at. And he was a good wide receiver, folks, if you never saw him.
Get there.
McAvoy deep downfield.
Nice.
What a beautiful catch.
Is he
Did he
giving the one
stay in
foot?
bounds, Jeff?
Yes, you got
he
one
did.
down.
Now that ball laid out there perfectly by McAvoy to Carter Huffman, our Adam Thielen, Cooper Kupp, Chris Collinsworth clone. And now Wilmington's inside the 5-yard line, Jeff, threatening to score again. 1st and goal. Nice ball, nice catch. Both ends of that one, Jeff.
Wonderful throw.
So on 1st down, a handoff into the line, and
Touchdown.
Kendall France is in, folks. Kendall France with the touchdown run, set up by the long pass. McAvoy to Huffman. 1st and goal inside the 5, and Kendall France jams it in for a 13-0 lead for Wilmington as Parker Henry is on for the point after. So Wilmington off to a fast start, Jeff. It's very important in playoff time to get momentum. And the kick by Parker Henry is good.
Well, Tony, as I indicated in a little bit earlier, and I think maybe when you got here, Coach Killen, later in the second period last week against Clinton Massey, made a change at quarterback. And if any fans are wondering out there what happened, Cameron McAvoy gave the team a spark last week, and so Coach Killen gave him the start tonight. And so far, he's doing a wonderful job.
Lots of sponsors tonight. One of them's John Roberts Excavating. Located in Wilmington, is a family-owned business since 1998. They are specialized and experienced in general excavation, sewer, storm grading, field tile, drainage, land clearing, ponds, demolition, and paving. Every single service that I need at my house. Look them up on Facebook or call 937-382-1788 for a free estimate from John Roberts Excavating. So Wilmington out quick, Jeff, 14-0 with 2:50 left, quarter number one.
They do look sharp, don't they?
Yes, they do. There's the kick that's bobbled by number 6, Caden Durham. And he is buried at about the 12-yard line, Jeff. So Marietta down 14-0 has a long field to go after being buried deep in their own territory after a kickoff that didn't go very far, but the return didn't lead much for the Tigers.
Tony, it's got to be a tough day and an evening for Marietta. They lost a tough game to Weir, West Virginia last week. I believe it was 36-34. And they had to travel, I believe, 2 hours 20, 2 hours 30 minutes to get here today.
Yes, that's a long way, no doubt, no doubt. It's not like the NFL where you go in 2 nights beforehand. There's a completion out to number 3, Donovan Wheeler. Gerber to Wheeler. ...24-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Trailing 14-0. Like we say, the Hurricane of Wilmington out quick. So it's first down, Marietta. Gerber drops back to pass, rolls to his right, looking, still on his feet, throws deep downfield, and that ball's out of bounds, Jeff, incomplete.
Yeah, it was a broken play. Tyson Schaefer was his receiver. Typically, what receivers are taught to do when a quarterback is flushed out of the pocket is come back to the ball.
Yeah.
And I didn't see anybody helping out his quarterback there. They kind of just continued on their pattern, just basically looked at him. I'd like to see him come back for the ball, and that is very helpful to a quarterback.
Help them out, receivers. 2nd and 10, Marietta, first quarter, 2:16 to go. Gerber back to pass and again launches deep downfield, and it is off the fingertips of number 7, Tyson Schaefer, incomplete. Ball hung up in the air a while, Jeff.
He was behind his man by a couple yards. Tried to get it one-handed. It was just a little too far for him, and he made a great effort.
Shelley McCune Realtor, one of our sponsors. Caldwell Banker shines like no other. Only one real estate company has guided people home for over 114 years. Call Shelley McCune with Caldwell Banker West Shell, your neighbor, your friend, your hometown realtor, bringing you exceptional service, honesty, and integrity throughout the entire home buying, selling process. Shelley McCune Realtor guided you home for over 114 years. Holy moly.
Well,
what's 2020 minus 114? 1906?
1906. That's a lot of houses sold in that period of time.
Teddy Roosevelt was president in
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think HER Realtors in Columbus has been around near that long. That's impressive. You know, it's good to have some new sponsors on tonight. We know that the people that sponsor high school football are good people. They run good businesses, and I would encourage everybody to actually listen to the radio or to the commercials we broadcast. And if you have a chance to go to one of our sponsors, please do so.
How about McCune Painting and Renovation, LLC, located in Wilmington, Ohio. Your trusted contractor with over 25 years of experience. That's about 99 less than the Realtor division, offering interior and exterior custom painting and home renovations. Call Nevin today at 937-728-5585 for a free quote.
Picked.
There's an interception.
Pick 6. Is he going to get
No,
in?
he's not going to get in, Jeff, but it's a big momentum boost for the fired up Wilmington defense with an interception. Gerber's pass picked off.
I think that was Josh Schnell, a sophomore.
And Wilmington's threatening again, Jeff. Inside the 5, first and goal, already leading 14-0 and threatening to go out ahead even more. Jeff, more sponsors. Tell us a little bit about Edinger Farms.
Edinger Farms, family owned and operated. Edinger Farms focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on their team can provide you with the perfect product for any operation and offer both delivery and unloading services. Edinger Farms also sells both farm fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find them on Facebook or visit their website at edingerfarms.com.
All right, Wilmington inside the. There's a mishandled snap. Mcavoy did pick it up, Jeff. Again, that could have been disaster, a mishandled snap, but it is handled.
Well, going back to what we've observed several times this season, the quarterback should be trained, and I'm sure Coach Killen has trained him, just fall on that thing in that situation. Don't try to pick it up. He's lucky there he didn't kick it around and turn it back over.
And well coached then, because you get a big turnover and the ball inside the 5. You want to cash in if you're the Hurricane. So now it's second and goal from about the 6. And there's a handoff into the line, and that's not going anywhere either, Jeff.
Well, it's a tough area here. Third and 7 or 8.
So now we're third and goal.
I look for a sprint out or a play action pass where the quarterback's moving outside of the traditional pocket on this. You might look into here on the wide side of the field to his right.
We're inside the 1 minute mark, first quarter here at beautiful Alumni Field. Wilmington versus Marietta in Ohio High School playoff action. Mcavoy in the shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back, guns a pass, and it's broken up. Nice play over there, Jeff.
Very good. I missed that. They went with the opposite, which is
might be Rhys Gerber on the defensive play.
Yeah, nice play. Instead of going to the wide side, they looked that way and then came back one-on-one to a short post to the receiver.
First and goal for Wilmington does not look like it results in a touchdown, as the field goal unit is on with Parker Henry kicking, looks like about a 24-yard attempt. No wind, no rain, perfect conditions, perfect snap. Kick looks good. So Wilmington does convert 3 out of the turnover, Jeff. It's Wilmington 17, Marietta 0. Time, Jeff, to tell us about Brown Funeral Home, another new sponsor here on campusnation.com.
Brown Funeral Home in Wilmington is proud to support the student athletes of Clinton County and surrounding counties. The hard work, dedication, and passion shown by these athletes are the same principles that we adhere to at our funeral home. The team of Kevin Brown and Billy Earhart are always here to assist your family in the time of need. From pre-planning to at need, we offer a wide range of services that are economically friendly to all. To contact Brown Funeral Home, call 937-382-2247. You can also find them online at earhart-brown.com or on Facebook at Brown Funeral Home. Brown Funeral Home, celebrating lives, committed to the community.
Kingdom Exteriors, it's that time of year and the projects you've been putting off still need to be finished. Yes. Is a new new roof, not a sunroof, is a new roof one of those projects? One simple call could get that out of the way. Kingdom Exterior specializes in residential, commercial roofing, siding, and decks. Winter is coming. Yes, it is. So trust their 30 years of experience serving the Wilmington, Lebanon, Greater Dayton, and Cincinnati areas. Call Kelly at Kingdom Exteriors. 513-696-9593. That's Kingdom Exteriors. 32 seconds left, first quarter, Jeff. Wilmington out to a big early lead, 17-0 over the Marietta Tigers. This is a big drive if Marietta wants to stay in the game. There's a ball floating down the field, and it's almost picked off again.
Gerber's pass almost intercepted by Kendall France.
Let me see if you get your flashlight on.
So 2nd and 10 now, Marietta trailing 17-0, as we said. Alumni Field, campusnation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. We're back streaming where you can watch the play live. Our sister radio station, 106.9 WZAA out of Jeffersonville. A whole crew here tonight. Flags are down as Rhys Gerber is brought down in the backfield, Jeff, but there's penalty markers.
That's what you call a coverage sack. We saw Gerber look to his left. Receivers were doing a short crossing pattern. They were both covered by the defenders, and he just ran out of time. It's interesting to see what happens here. That was kind of an unusual place to throw it.
Well, they threw the flag, and they're...
Are we going to get calls this week?
Picking them up? I think did they move? All right, so there was a flag, but declined. It was against Wilmington, and it is declined by the Hurricane coaching staff. So with 20 seconds left, first quarter, big play here for Marietta on 3rd and very long, 15. Gerber drops back to pass, does complete the pass over the middle, and what looked like a tackle short of the first down is busted out of there by number 23, Zach Bartlett. Looked like he was trapped, Jeff, but he does get across the line to gain and has a first down.
Well, the fans out there will see that's a middle screen. Quarterback drops back. The interior line bumps the rushers, allows them to come in, and the running back curls right around from his blocking position and waits for the ball right over center, basically. Dumped to him by the quarterback.
How about this? It's going to come back because there's an ineligible receiver penalty.
Well, that's the wrong call if that's what they called.
That's what they called. Tell us why it's wrong, Jeff.
Well, if you pass the ball, forward pass behind the line of scrimmage, but the ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage, the lineman can block downfield. They had to have ruled that Bartlett was like 1 foot or 1 inch past the line of scrimmage. It didn't look like that to me.
It does. The penalty does move the Tigers back, so now it's 3rd and very long. They had a first down, Jeff, but now it's 3rd and 20.
That's a tough call.
And Gerber is sacked. What a great tackle. Looks like number 15, Josh Snell.
Another one of Wilmington's underclassmen. Josh, a sophomore, just been playing better and better each week.
Looked like he was shot out of a cannon, Jeff. Where's the cannon that Snell was shot out of?
Probably was a delayed blitz. That play, often the defender will be taught to wait a second so that the offensive tackle or the guard on that side can engage the defender over them and then blitz. Very
Brings
nicely
us
done.
to the end of the first quarter, Jeff. Wilmington 17, Marietta 0. High school football on campusnation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation, 106.9 WZAA, the sister station. I am Tony Mancuso, your play-by-play guy. I didn't go over the speed limit hardly at all on the way here.
Nah.
Sort of, not really, maybe, possibly.
Well,
But maybe not possibly, too. Who
I, for
knows?
one, am glad you did, my man. Kingdom Exteriors, Tony. Is it that time of year and the projects that you've been putting off still need to be finished? Is a new roof one of those projects? One simple call could get that out of the way. Kingdom Exteriors specializes in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and decks. Winter is coming, so trust their 30-plus years of experience. Kingdom Exteriors serves the Wilmington, Lebanon, Greater Dayton, and Cincinnati areas. Call Kelly at Kingdom Exteriors. That's 513-696-9593, 513-696-9593.
So punting situation for Marietta, first play, second quarter, already trailing 17-0, and that's a shanked punt, which is rolling around, and it's rolling back the wrong way for Marietta, Jeff.
It's about a 9-yard net punt.
Yeah, and that's not a place to get a 9-yard net punt because now Wilmington takes over on the Marietta 22-yard line, already leading 17-0, and things are going bad to worse for Marietta, Jeff.
Well, I want to go back for just a second to the 2.5-hour bus ride they had here. As you accurately mentioned, Ohio State, even some other Division II schools, they may not fly, but they have commercial buses and so forth. I remember when I played at a Division III school many years ago, and maybe we played at 1 o'clock on a Saturday, had to get up early to get on the bus, and it's not like high school, most high school, where you're 10, 15 miles away. You might have to travel 2-3 hours, and it just takes you a while, in most cases, to get yourself acclimated to getting ready to play the game.
Yes, and it takes a lot out of you, no doubt. Sitting in a bus or car for that long and then coming out to play football.
Especially in this season with the COVID and everything else up in the air. That's a tough deal.
Well, they are calling a penalty against Wilmington. However, the shanked punt stands. Tell us about Sam's Meats, Jeff.
Football fans, stop by Sam's Meats located here in Wilmington, Ohio at 1209 West Locust Street and support a locally owned and operated business. Sam's Meats has fresh chicken, pork, and beef along with deli cheese and lunch meats. Their meat deals are a great way to buy meat in bulk, helping to save you both time and money. The dining room is open for you to enjoy homemade hot bar meals and their made-to-order grill menu. Sam's Meats also offers catering, party trays, and a variety of homemade desserts, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6:30, and 8 to 6 on Saturdays. Check them out.
First down Wilmington after the change of possession and the penalty, and there's a throw deep down the right sideline. It falls incomplete, Jeff, but a penalty marker is down, intended for Carter Huffman, down deep on the right sideline.
Well, again, that's one of the favorite plays out of the spread. Find out where you've got an advantage physically over the defensive back. When you're in the spread, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be in some kind of a man coverage, and let the receiver go down the field, throw it up, and see if he can catch it.
So
or get a pass interference
It is a pass
call.
interference. Jeff, tell us a little bit about the transition for a receiver. You've been playing all year long with a different quarterback, and here you get to the playoffs, and you have another one throwing at you. And here's one of the other differences. Peyton Hibbert, a right-hander, Cameron McAvoy, a left-hander. Tell us the difference. You threw the ball out of the quarterback position. What's the difference?
That's the biggest thing, is right to left for a receiver, because the ball spins completely different.
First down, there's a handoff to the other committee running back, number 26. That's Thad Stuckey, who goes to the right sidelines, leaps into the end zone, stays in bounds, and scores another touchdown for the Wilmington Hurricane. And they extend their lead to 23-0. So there's that running back by committee, and into the game comes Stuckey, and he runs it in for the touchdown.
The right side of the Wilmington line just collapsed the left side of the Marietta line, and Stuckey popped it outside, and there was nobody home.
Parker Henry with the point after is good. So Wilmington's running it out here, Jeff. 24-0 with 11:42 left. Second quarter, just underway, second quarter. And now we're four scores behind at 24-0.
I usually don't agree with you
four ahead
on a whole lot of things. You generally
What?
say it's important that they score on this drive. I think way too early, just my opinion. But this time I think you're right. If you call this a must score, I think Marietta needs something here.
You're down 24-0 very, very early in the second quarter, and you're on the verge of getting blown out. So tell us a little bit about Collette Farms, Jeff.
Collette Farms Pioneer Seed is a family-owned and operated seed dealership offering Pioneer brand products, seed treatments, and trusted agronomic advice for over 45 years. With the use of local data, technology, and digital tools, Collette Farms helps farmers maximize every acre's potential. Count on us to be there throughout the season, working directly with you. Colette Farms Pioneer Seed, farmers just like you. And Tony, we'll probably have a lot of farmers in this area finding out just how good Colette Farms is because we're getting into the harvest season now.
11:41 left, second quarter here at Alumni Field. Playoff football. You can't ask for anything more if you're the Wilmington Hurricane, leading 24-0 already, Jeff. And look at this, an onside kick where this is a name that half our audience won't recognize. It is Sam Weich, who onside kicked in 1989, folks, only leading 58-7 with a few minutes left in the fourth quarter. They recovered the onside
and
kick.
then kicked the field goal.
Kicked the field goal.
Sam did not care for Jerry Glanville. Not at all.
Remember, I still love that image of him waving goodbye on the way.
One of my favorite Bengal moments. I didn't like him either.
So how about 58-7, Bengals leading and an onside kick? What we just saw was reminiscent of that moment because Wilmington out 24-0, and it was a designed onside kick. Now,
well, I'll tell you,
Marietta recovered it.
Coach Killen wants to keep the pedal on the metal.
Yes.
This is tournament now. This is playoffs. You can't take anything for granted, and you're up. Things are going well. Why not take a chance?
Rhys Gerber brings the Tigers to the line of scrimmage at the 38-yard line. A first down handoff to number 23, Zach Bartlett. Zach Bartlett with the carry for Marietta, stacked up. Carter Huffman, Mr. Everything tonight, Jeff, makes the tackle for Wilmington.
Carter Huffman, Tony, Coach Killen told me this week that he has got quite a few Division II and NAIA schools interested in him.
Not surprised.
And, of course, that's scholarship football, too.
Yes. There's a keeper by Rhys Gerber. Gets just back to the line. Here's the thing, folks. Anytime you are recruited by any level, it doesn't have to be Ohio State. It doesn't have to be Alabama or Clemson. It rarely is. You have to be elite of the elite to get to those places. Anywhere that's recruiting any college kid to go to school to play football is a great thing, no matter what level.
Well, getting to go to college for free,
yes,
no matter where, is very good.
No matter what level, folks. It doesn't matter if it's Ohio State or Wilmington or Polytech State, wherever that might be. It doesn't matter. As long as they play football and it doesn't cost tuition money, where do you sign up?
And if there's any kids hoping to get scholarships someday, you've got to do your schoolwork and you've got to keep your nose clean in the community because football coaches don't want to risk that kind of money on you if you're not reliable.
Tell us about John Roberts Excavating.
John Roberts Excavating is located right here in Wilmington, and it's a family-owned business going since 1998. They are specialized and experienced in general excavation, sewer, storm, grading, field tile, drainage, land clearing, ponds, demolition, and paving. Look up John Roberts Excavating on Facebook or call 937-382-1788 for a free estimate.
So another third down for the Marietta Tigers, already down 24-0. I think this is 4-down territory. I'm going to predict that that's what the coaching staff of Marietta thinks too. There's the keeper by Gerber, and he does have the first down, Jeff.
Nice run.
So Marietta has to score. You got to score, Marietta, to keep it in the game. Wilmington out quick, 24-0, and everything's rolling in their favor. Now, can an onside kick change the momentum? You're trying to get a little bit greedy, perhaps, and you give Marietta the ball on your side of the field?
Well, it's a risk, but I agree with Coach Killen. It was one worth taking.
So there goes number 23, Zach Bartlett, rambling in for the touchdown. And I don't know, the onside kick backfires because a short field for Marietta turns into a touchdown at 10:05 to go, second quarter. I don't know if I love the onside kick call in that situation. It did not work. It backfired. Marietta scores out of it. So now they're back in the game, Jeff.
Well, once again, I'll have to disagree with you. I think that was the time to
Well,
put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, you don't agree with anything I say.
I'm usually right, so.
If I say Rick and Sidney Phillips are here with us doing a great job, do you agree with that?
Absolutely,
Well, there you
yes.
go. See how I walked him right into that? That's a typical lawyer question.
Well, you got
And he answered it exactly like I wanted
you
him
got
to.
one right for a change.
Well, Jeff, while I take some of these warm clothes off because it is burning up, tell us about Shelley McCune Realtor.
Shelley McCune Realtor, Coldwell Banker, shines like no other. Only one real estate company has guided people home for over 114 years. Call Shelley McCune with Coldwell Banker West Shell, your neighbor, your friend, your hometown realtor, bringing you exceptional service, honesty, and integrity throughout the entire home buying and selling progress. Rick, Sidney, where is Shelley's office? Lebanon? Well, my guess is that they've been in business over 114 years. They've got listings over quite a wide range. And I hope some people, if they're thinking about selling in the spring as it comes up, will give Shelley McCune Realtor a call.
Well, I tell you, 114 years in business. A lot of people have given him a call. Matter of fact, people were giving him things even before calls, Jeff. If it was 114 years, they were sending him smoke signals or something back in the early days. So that feels good. Now look what I did, Jeff. I took off the underlayers so that my number 9, Joe E. Burrow, could still shine to the Wilmington High School crowd.
You need to stand up and show it to them now and then.
Well, yeah, and plus, you don't want to see me modeling Joe Burrow's jersey.
That might not be nice.
No. Matter of fact, I tell you what, maybe next week we'll have Sydney buy one and she'll model it, but
There you go.
not me. There's a ball on the ground, Jeff, and let's see who's got it. It looks like Wilmington held on to it. So I think the momentum changed after the onside kick, but hey.
It would appear so.
Yes.
I'm not convinced yet. We'll see what
Well,
happens.
we're 24-7. The game is still in hand for Wilmington at this point, but a lot of time left. 9:30 to go, second quarter. It's second down, 11 yards to go. 24-7. Wilmington leading Marietta. There's McAvoy waiting for the snap. Drops back to pass. The left-hander's flushed out to the left.
Got him.
Throws deep downfield.
Oh.
He had his man Carter Huffman all alone.
The defender, Rhys Gerber, fell down, Tony.
Had him. Carter had him beat by 10 yards, but it's overthrown.
You know, if he had just a little bit more game experience, he probably would have thought to himself, as quarterbacks are trained to, when the guy is wide open like that, your receiver has nobody around him, just lob it out there, put a little bit on it, but just let him run under it.
So an opportunity missed by Wilmington. So now it's 3rd and 11. So big hold here for the Tigers. Let's see if Wilmington can convert on 3rd and 11. That play was open. They just missed it. Shotgun snap. McAvoy back to pass, is under pressure, and he is buried.
Face
55,
mask.
Carson Urban, but I think we have a face mask. So a sack by Carson Urban is going to be negated, I believe.
You may have 2 penalties, in fact.
We have a message from Shelley McCune. Her office is in Wilmington.
Wilmington. Shelley McCune in Wilmington. Thank you. Phone number.
I wonder if there's... Thanks for that, Shelley, in Wilmington. So now it's 3rd and 11 as the officials... It was 3rd and 11 as the officials huddle up and it is in fact a face mask against 55 Carson Urban. Broke in for the sack, Jeff. That would have been a big turn there for the Marietta defense, but instead it is a penalty. Now,
like maybe they called a
they
hold now.
Did they call an offset? Yes, I think they did.
Well, it sure looked like a very
We definitely have a face mask,
very painful face mask.
but a offsetting penalty, it looks like, is going to replay the down.
I tell you, the last 2-3 weeks,
It's
I've been more
confusing.
puzzled
Yeah.
by the referees than I've ever been, I think, in 54 years of remembering high school football games.
Well, you know, every NFL broadcast now has an officiating expert. And, you know, Gene Steratore and who else is up in the booth?
I don't
Gene
understand this.
Blandino. You got all kinds of those types that are just hired to give interpretations of calls and flags and what replays show or they don't show. So the referees here are huddling up, trying to figure out down and distance.
Well,
Now, what's interesting is look at the yard marker. It's way back. So either the yard guys don't know the call or the call is completely against Wilmington, which makes no sense.
Coach Kellen was out on the field questioning it, and I
Yeah,
don't blame him. That
makes no sense.
my eyes are aging, but if that wasn't a face mask.
Well, it was a face mask, and he made the call, but there must be some sort of offset against Marietta, which is coming into play.
But that's not where the play started, where they've marked it.
Well, where's Gene Steratore? Let's call up to CBS. Gene.
If we
now,
just- if
I'll
we-
tell you what, Gene is good.
Gene
He
is good.
Well, he's good. There's some of those clowns that aren't, but Gene is good.
Well, I promise you, if we had if maybe someday Rick and Sydney will get us a replay, and we would have figured it out.
What's
but
the ESPN guy that hates the Bengals? I got to think about it for a second. The name is escaping me. There's a completed pass out of bounds. So all that is going to bring up 4th and long anyway. The guy who does ESPN, he's a year into it, Jeff. Blonde-haired guy. Whenever we saw him as the official at Paul Brown Stadium, there was a big sigh of ugh at the beginning because that guy, Terry McAvoy,
that's him.
That's it. No, was it Terry McCauley?
McCauley. You're
Terry
right.
McCauley. That guy, he must have something deep in his past that he hates us. So Wilmington punts it away. What a kick. Long kick. And down goes the Marietta kick returner. What a kick.
Well, Parker,
Parker really put a leg into that one, Parker Henry.
great kicker. He came in tonight with a 33.5-yard average.
That was more than that.
That was that'll add a few yards.
McCune Painting and Renovation, LLC. Located in Wilmington, Ohio, your trusted contractor with over 25 years of experience. Offering interior and exterior custom painting and home renovations. Call Nevin today at 937-728-5585 for a free quote. McCune Painting and Renovation, LLC. Marietta, no gain. Ball's loose, but the referees blow it dead.
Rhys Gerber, ball carrier. Brought down in the backfield. Loss of 2 on the play.
So a 2-yard loss for the Tigers on first down.
Brings up 2nd down and 12.
Second down, 12. Tell you, if Marietta can get a drive here, we got us a ball game again. We have one now, but that 24-0 turning into 24-7. Marietta held on downs and now have the ball. Back to pass, and a nice-looking ball by Rhys Gerber. Falls incomplete to Tyson Schaefer, Jeff.
Well, I think Rhys, from my observation here tonight, he has a little bit of a problem throwing off his back foot. He needs to kind of try to get his hips and his body moving forward on those little slants. You're not going to be as accurate if you're either standing straight up in the air or kind of leaning away from it.
So 3rd down and 12 now for the Tigers. Straight drop back, and there's that
Middle screen.
their middle screen again, and this time it's red and it goes nowhere. It's been successful for Marietta, so they went back to the well, but that time the Wilmington defense converges, stops the Marietta drive. It's 4th and 10, and the punting unit is on as Carter Huffman drops back for the Hurricane, leading 24-7. 7:20 to go till halftime. That time he gets a good punt off and a fair catch signal by Huffman,
That's good to see right
who
there.
slides across the Marietta side of the field to make the catch.
As long as it's not too big a risk, get up there and catch it. Fair catch it ahead of time so you don't have to worry about getting hit. But
And he called it early, which was good.
that
Very
probably
well done.
saved him 10, 15 yards.
So 7:10 to go. Let's introduce the crew here. I'm Tony Mancuso. Play-by-play. The color guy is Jeff Merklin, expert analysis, state champion high school quarterback, college quarterback, coach, high school sports guru. The camera people, Joe Holdren again, probably wearing his cowboy hat, even though I don't see him anywhere right at this minute. Dean Thompson, Brandon Robinette doing the camera work. There's a pitch out to number 9, Kendall France. Crosses close to the 42-yard line. Of course, Rick and Sidney Phillips running the controls. CampusNation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation. 106.9 WZAA in Jeffersonville, the sister radio station. It don't get no better than that. Friday night football. What else would you want? Guy coming out of a balloon, maybe. There's France, who's being pulled back by his jersey, but he keeps going and going and going.
And he's
still
gone.
not down. Is there?
Did they blow it dead?
Yeah, there's a whistle blows it dead. Now, what's interesting there, Kendall France was at his forward progress stopped by the officials, but he was still going. And he did get out of the pack and run for a touchdown, but the officials had blown it dead.
Well, they need to get in there and make their call more clear because that's where kids get hurt in those kind of scrums.
Yeah,
We
he's
talked
being-
about that before. If they
Right.
call it dead, get in there and get them off of each other and don't let the thing scrum down the field like some rugby match.
I know a lot of our fans watch NFL. If you saw that Monday night football game, Patriots and Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes was like at a fingernail on him, and they called it dead and overruled a fumble. There's France breaking free inside the 20 to about the 16, but flags come
Another
in.
flag.
What's interesting about that NFL play, it's usually New England that gets all the calls, and that time they did not. You know why? It's very simple. Why is that? Why is it New England getting calls all of a sudden?
Brady's not there.
That's right. See, Jeff, you do agree with things. We're in sync.
It's different agreeing that,
Right.
versus reading your mind, which is sometimes not that hard.
See, when the golden boy, Tom Brady, is no longer a Patriot,
What?
everybody is no longer a Patriot fan.
What is this call now?
Well, these guys are huddling up and not sure what they're calling. There's flags on the field, and they're all kind of converging, trying to figure out what the call is. They go to the Wilmington coaching staff to give an explanation. So what is it? We still don't have a signal even yet. We had an explanation, but no signal.
Did we pick up the flag? Is
No,
it a
it's
flag?
down. Let's see. There's still conversation among these officials.
Well, you had a 16-yard gain. It must be a penalty on Wilmington. The question is whether it's a spot foul,
Well,
which
they're
is where they
moving him-
mark it from the spot.
They're moving the Hurricane back. So it is going to be on Wilmington,
All right.
probably.
Yeah, that's where it looks like the flag's down at the 21-yard line, maybe a hold or a block in the back, and they'll mark it from where the penalty occurred as opposed to the line of scrimmage.
We still don't have a signal. Here he comes. Nope.
No signal.
No signal still. Well, folks, don't be confused out there in campusnation.com land. There was a penalty. What it was, who knows? Handoff into the line, number 24. Thane McCoy gets the carry. Another of the three-headed running back committee of the Wilmington Hurricane. Thane, the sophomore.
Tony, I hope we can continue to broadcast this Wilmington team next year. They have a ton of very good young players. The kid on defense that Coach Killen told me about this week, Derek Perdue, he leads the league with 6 sacks.
Yes.
And he's already himself getting some college fielders. Just a sophomore. This is going to be a good team.
Well, take a guess, folks. More confusion as the whistles are stop play. Maybe that's a uniform issue for Kendall France, but now the clock's rolling and we're back to football and not committee meetings by officials. There's a handoff. Number 9, France out to the far right, sweep, but ran east and west for very little yardage, Jeff.
Good coverage that time. Good pursuit by Wilmington. Had a linebacker and a defensive back on it. Actually, he lost a couple, Tony.
4:42 and counting, first half. Alumni Field, Wilmington Hurricane 24, Marietta Tigers 7. Ohio High School playoffs. Different setup this year, Jeff.
And from what I can tell, the schools are very excited about this format
no doubt.
this year.
Anytime you're playing in the playoffs, it's exciting. There's France into the line. Look how excited the Reds were. Look how many runs they scored, Jeff.
Well,
right? Look how fired up they were.
I really don't want to compare
especially
Wilmington.
Offensively.
I really don't want to compare Wilmington or even Marietta to the Reds.
No, the Reds almost got a run in their series this year, Jeff.
They actually almost showed a little excitement, too.
Almost got a run. Not quite, but better luck next year, folks. But how about Atlanta? 4 shutouts in 5 games. Come on.
Wow.
Maybe it's not our fault, but maybe it is. McAvoy back to pass, swings it out, caught. It's number 3. That's Adrian Cody. Knocked out of bounds. That's a first down for Wilmington, Jeff. They're threatening to go up even more. This would be a gigantic score for Wilmington leading into halftime.
Cameron McAvoy just has beautiful touch on those passes out of the backfield to his running back. As we've talked about before in the last couple weeks, those are not easy passes to throw.
McAvoy back to pass, throws it deep downfield, and that ball is juggled. It is caught, but it's out of bounds. Carter Huffman again on the receiving end. He did catch the ball. Our man Adam Thielen, but incomplete, out of bounds. Should we call him Adam Thielen, which is modern, or Chris Collinsworth, which is our era?
Well, I'm going to call him good because he's been very good on those distance passes.
Go. I think that's the better definition. So 2nd and 10, Wilmington. There's a handoff to Kendall France. Gets about 3. Make it probably closer to 2. So now a 3rd down for Wilmington, about 7. Make it 3rd and 7. So it was a 3-yard gain officially by the stat man.
That's 13 carries in the first half for Kendall France. We had thought coming in that he might get a few more touches tonight, and I'm glad to see he is.
Yeah, great call by that on that one, Jeff. Merklin, our color expert commentary, called Kendall France getting more of the workload, and it turned out true. There's back to pass and a ball into the end zone, and it is juggled again and tipped around and incomplete. It was Cameron McAvoy again to Carter Huffman in the corner of the end zone. Ball's incomplete. Guess who's trotting out, Jeff? Parker Henry for another field goal try. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit over 30 yards, maybe about a 31-yarder.
Yeah, the one he had earlier in this half was just his third of the year. He was 2 for 8 coming into the game, so I'd like to see him hit 2 in a row here.
So a 31-yard try for Parker Henry. No wind, no weather. The kick is up, looks good, and the officials
Beautiful kick.
confirm it. So it's 27 Wilmington, 7 Marietta as Wilmington extends their lead. Tell us about Ettinger Farms, Jeff.
Ettinger Farms. It's family-owned and operated, Tony, and it focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on their team can provide you with the perfect product for any operation and offer both delivery and unloading services. Ettinger Farms also sells both farm fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find them on Facebook or visit their website at ettingerfarms.com. That's EDINGERFARMS.com.
Brown Funeral Home in Wilmington is proud to support the student athletes of Clinton and surrounding counties. The hard work, dedication, and passion shown by these athletes are the same principles we adhere to at our funeral home, Brown Funeral Home. The team of Kevin Brown and Billy Earhart are always here to assist your family in your time of need. From pre-planning to at need, we offer a wide range of services that are economically friendly to all. To contact Brown Funeral Home, call 937-382-2247. You can also find them online at earhart-brown.com. earhart-brown.com, or on Facebook at Brown Funeral Home. Brown Funeral Home, celebrating lives committed to the community.
Was that a kick out of bounds again? I was looking at our sponsors, Tony. I believe it was.
Well, 2:20 to go.
Let's see if they can make that work to their advantage.
Yeah, and it would be, again, here we go with momentum shifting when there's a kick out of bounds. So it's 35-yard line where this drive starts. 2:20 to go. Marietta, it'd be great for the Tigers to get a touchdown, and of course, Wilmington wants to hold heading into the half. There's a deep ball down the field, and that's overthrown and out of bounds. Intended down there for number 7, Tyson Schaefer, incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 with 2:15 to go. What about if Marietta can't generate a first down, Wilmington get the ball one more time, Jeff?
I think after the onside kick earlier, I'm looking for him to put the ball in the air.
Well, it's 2nd and 10. Marietta's dangerous here because if they leave too much time on the clock, there's flags down. I think that's going to be on the Hurricane for an offside, and that's what the officials mark. And the ball crosses to about the 40, a 5-yard penalty on Wilmington.
On 2nd and long, that's a smart play by Marietta. Go with the hard count and see if you can get an easy 5.
And they did. So 2nd and 10 turns to 2nd and 5 for Marietta. 2:14 to go. There's a gun by Gerber, complete. It's caught by number 21, John Bricker. Carter Huffman on the tackle again for Wilmington. What a game Carter Huffman is having. My goodness gracious.
He's got to be one of the nicest athletes we've seen this year.
What a game he's having. There's Wilmington again jumping, Jeff. Must be something about the cadence or something about the formations that's causing him to jump. Very
young players often
yeah,
get anxious, get going in a big game, and that's what's happening here.
Excited about getting sacks, and instead it's 2 5-yard penalties on this drive. So Marietta's helped by the flags as there's 1:53 to go. First half. Shotgun snap. Gerber throws it up in the air, and that ball is caught or broken up?
Incomplete.
Yeah. Look who's back there again, Jeff. Take a guess.
Carter Huffman. That was a ball that was right on the money, and
Yeah.
if Carter hadn't gotten there, that would have been about a 25, 30-yard gain.
Guys coming from everywhere. Offense, defense. What a game he's having tonight, Jeff. I don't even have to call his name anymore. Just like have a recording that just says Carter Huffman, Carter Huffman, Carter Huffman tonight. Gerber back to pass. There's that screen again to the middle. That one is completed to Zach Bartlett. Looks like good for a first down, Jeff. So that play's had mixed reviews. Worked sometimes, hasn't worked others. That time it did work for a Marietta first down. So Marietta driving a huge drive as we end the first half here for the Tigers. Gerber back to pass. Now is flushed out, and he's going to be dragged down. 56, Jeff.
That's Bradley Sturgill. Brady Sturgill, I'm sorry. And that's another coverage sack, Tony. Well done by the Wilmington defensive backfield.
Kingdom Exteriors, it's that time of year, and the projects you have been putting off still need to be finished. Is a new roof one of those projects? One simple call could get that out of the way. Kingdom Exterior specializes in residential and commercial roofing, sidings, and decks. Winter is coming, unfortunately. So trust their 30-plus years of experience serving the Wilmington, Lebanon, Greater Dayton, and Cincinnati areas. Call Kelly at Kingdom Exteriors, 513-696-9593. That's Kelly at Kingdom Exteriors, 513-696-9593. Kingdom Exteriors. So it's 2nd and 13 now with 1:10 to go. First half. Big drive. Both teams, offensively and defensively, Jeff.
Well, I agree with you. If Marietta can come out of this with a touchdown, they got to feel great about themselves.
Yes, it would be huge. So the officials mark the ball ready for play, and Gerber's in the shotgun and guns it over the middle. It is caught. Looks like Caden Durham with the catch. And Marietta now faces a 3rd down. They cut the first down yardage in half from 2nd and 13 to about 3rd and 7. Gerber on the keeper runs out of trouble and is spun down. Loses yardage, Jeff. This has got to be 4-down territory here, isn't it?
Certainly, timeout to
Yeah,
figure
there's
out
a
what they're going
timeout.
to do. There were so many Wilmington players on that one, I couldn't see who would get credit for the sack.
So 44 seconds left, first half. Sam's Meats. Jeff, tell us about our favorite meat place.
Football fans, stop by Sam's Meats, located here in Wilmington, Ohio, 1209 West Locust Street, and support a locally owned and operated business. Sam's Meats has fresh chicken, pork, and beef, along with deli cheese and lunch meats. Their meat deals are a great way to buy meat in bulk, helping to save you both time and money. The dining room is open for you to enjoy homemade hot bar meals and their made-to-order grill menu. Sam's Meats also offers catering, party trays, and a variety of homemade desserts. Sam's is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6:30, and 8 to 6 on Saturdays. Check out Sam's Meats.
So a big 4th down here for both teams. Marietta on offense. Wilmington on defense. It's 4th and about 5 for the Tigers. Big play, big momentum play both ways. And of course, there is movement on the line. This time, I think it's going to be on Marietta, Jeff.
It's a big penalty. It makes it 4th and 9.
Ball start was 4th and 5. Move them back. Tough break.
One of the players Wilmington had to watch coming in tonight's game was Tony Munoz, and he has had very few touches because he's just blanketed by the Wilmington defense. Great job by the defensive coordinator for Wilmington.
Gerber back to pass. The ball is batted down, incomplete. Intended for Tyson Schaefer. It's broken up. Not sure who, might have been Tanner Killen, Jeff. Not sure.
Are the numbers just getting lighter, or are our eyes going bad as we age?
Well, I don't think we're aging any. So it's got to be
Nah.
something with the lights or something around here. It can't be our age.
Going to have a talk with
Rick's laughing over here. Heck, I'm younger than him. What's he laughing at?
Well, I've had to graduate.
I'm one of the youngest people in this booth, right? Yes.
You are.
Yes, I am.
Other than Sydney.
What do you mean other than Sydney? I said I'm one of the youngest people in this.
You're the youngest male.
So Wilmington running out the clock. There's a pitch to Kendall France. Ball's on the ground, Jeff, but I think Wilmington fell on it. Dangerous to fumble here. 19 seconds
That should
and
just
counting.
about do it. I don't think Marietta's going to use
Why
any
run
timeouts.
a play? Why run a play?
Good half for the Hurricane.
And they are letting the clock run down. 7 seconds and counting. And the clock of the first half is running out here at Alumni Field. Halftime score, the Wilmington Hurricane 27, the Marietta Tigers 7 here on Ohio High School Football Playoffs. CampusNation.com, the YouTube channel of Campus Nation, 106.9 WZAA, the sister station out of Jeffersonville. I'm Tony Mancuso, Jeff Merklin on the color, Dean Thompson, Joe Holdren, Brandon Robinette, our 3 camera people tonight. Sydney and Rick Phillips working all the electric and electricity. Are we going to listen to the band or we get to talk?
Well, you make up your mind.
Well, we can talk some. Why not? That's why we get paid the gigantic salaries that we get paid. Which, folks, you don't want the salary that we make. But no, we do it for fun. No, we do it because we love it. Not only is it fun, but we love it. Money isn't everything. So the Wilmington band getting ready to come on the field. Halftime, Ohio High School football. Jeff, what'd you think of the first half?
Again, I think I have to go back to the point of it's really tough to make a cross-state trip as Marietta did and then be in the game from the beginning. Once they kind of got their footing here, they played very well that second half. We'll see what happens when they come out. I'm sorry, played well the first half. We'll see what happens when they come out the second half. I think if they can get it to maybe 13-14 by the end of the third quarter, they're in the game.
Well, I do want to talk about a subject that I think we've gone through the first quarter of the NFL season. We're here in Wilmington, Ohio, which is the former summer college. Wilmington College is the summer camp home of the Bengals a few years back for many years. They haven't been there for a while. 1-2-1 out of the gate, the beloved Bengals. Jeff, let's talk about them. What do you think so far?
Well, when you go back and look at the games, it's very easy to, if you're a Bengal fan, kind of sit back and say, well, it's our same old Bengals. Start off 0-2 against teams that you had a chance to beat.
One play away.
One play away. if you think about it, and going back to the last 8 games of last year and the first 2, actually the first 3, because then we had that silly tie game, they're really, out of those 11 games, they are, what are they, 4, 5, 6, 4, and 1, I think. And we're close to being a lot better than that. The issue is they have to learn how to win. And, you know, I think that's a mental thing as opposed to necessarily a physical thing. Zach Taylor's been taking some heat on the social media. In the last couple weeks, I think it's kind of gone away with the victory. Now, it's going to be a tough game Sunday down at Baltimore. You know that, and I know that. What do you think will happen if we don't come out of there with a win?
Well, when you look at schedules at the beginning of the year, and we do this all the time, and I think all fans across the country do this of their favorite teams, you look at schedules and you say what looks like a win and what looks like a loss, and we're trying to project where we would be after 4 games. Many of us thought that 2-2 would be a good start. You came up a half a game short of that by the tie against the Eagles. And of course, what's ironic about that game, you had the lead at the end and they tied the game to take it to overtime. Now, so really you had a win that was sort of snatched from you by the inability to hold them on the last drive. The overtime went no score. I better call them San Diego, which all of us do. The Los Angeles Charger game, you had the lead most of that game too. You were driving for a win. You threw a touchdown pass that was called back, and you missed a 31-yard field goal that would have taken it into overtime. So, could you have been 2-2 at this point? Yes. Instead, you're a half game off. Now, you asked me what I think about this Sunday, and at the beginning of the year. This is a game that everything written on it says loss, everything. So we're going into this as fans thinking at Baltimore versus Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram and their defense and Justin Tucker, who can kick field goals from 70 yards on in, Mark Andrews, all the weapons they have. That looks like a loss going in. But the way the Bengals are playing offensively, I think they can run with them, Jeff. I really do think they can keep up. Where the game's going to turn is we're not going to stop the Ravens. Well, but it could be a track meet offensively.
Again, the weakest part of our team defensively is the linebackers. Now, I think they've played a lot better this year, but to ask them to track down Lamar Jackson, very difficult. To me, this game is going to be, if we can come out of there having played well competitively, yes. I think that's another step forward. If it's a blowout, 42-10.
Yeah, I won't like that.
You have to wonder a little bit how much progress we are making. It's going to be important that we get off to a good start down there.
See, I think I agree with the word you use is progress. Should the Ravens win? Yes. What are they? 13.5-point favorites. It's the biggest line of the week, and a lot of our guys are using that as locker room material that you're 13.5-point underdogs in an NFL football game. So that game had loss written on it when the schedule came out. Should the Ravens win? Yes. What if we do win that game? We'd be back to 2-1 and in the hunt, having beaten the Ravens, and the momentum would be remarkable. And I agree with you. I think if you show that you're in the game and that Burrow's not sacked another 8 to 10 times and he's given time by the offensive line and that we move the ball, where I think, let's face it, historically, Jeff, under the Dalton and Marvin Lewis regime, we had success against Baltimore a lot, really, and can't say the same against the Steelers, but you can sure say it against the Ravens. So we've never been completely dominated by that group, but we have been dominated by the Lamar Jackson Ravens.
I agree. Now, I'll tell you, if we can come out of there with a win,
if.
The whole season takes on a different
Yes, it does.
take, because if not only gets you back to 500, but the whole momentum thing changes, and you start to believe in yourself. You can go down to Baltimore and beat them. Well, you're not even thinking at that point about maybe eking into a wild card spot. You may be thinking about, well, let's make a run at the division.
Well, I'll say this. Player for player, we're not quite there yet. Their team is loaded. Offensive line, they're loaded up front. Their defense is fantastic. They've got an experienced coach. Like we said, the kicker's amazing. Anytime you get the ball close to midfield, it's points. He's the best ever. And I've said this and was laughed at. He might be the best player in the NFL. I'm serious. It's a laughing stock to say a kicker is the best player in the league. But my goodness, what does that guy ever do wrong? He never misses a kick. He kicks the ball out of bounds, touchbacks constantly, makes every extra point, makes every field goal. Is there anyone else in pro football that's perfect like him?
Well, not only the things that you mentioned, but when he kicks, if you're on, say you're rooting for the Bengals and he kicks against you, you don't even have a moment of brief hope.
No, you don't.
It's as the ball comes towards the goalpost, because it's always straight down the middle.
Because you're saying, all right, tie game, we need this field goal to go wide left. Forget that, because he's not going to do it. He is such a phenomenal weapon, and I hope the Baltimore fans realize what you've got in Justin Tucker. There's nobody like him, and revel in him, because he's going in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, and he's a weapon that's amazing. Now, prediction, I don't think the Bengals are going to win Sunday, but if they do, I think it's here we go, folks. The Burrow era is on the way. This is a team, Jeff, I agree with you, that just needs to learn how to win and get on a roll. So it's tough to get on a roll beating Jacksonville and then having to play Baltimore the following week. I would have loved to have had a different opponent this week, but hey, they lace them up and put on the pads like us. Let's go out there and beat them.
Well, and this is one of those situations. We all hate COVID, and we all hate what it's done to our lives and communities, and particularly our sports. But if you're a Bengal fan, not having 65,000 people yelling at you down there in Baltimore, it's not going to hurt.
Takes away the home field advantage. So I don't think the atmosphere or the trip is going to be too big for him. And Joe is Mr. Cool back there. He really is.
Yes.
He's amazing. For anybody who thought, well, is this guy just a one-year wonder or a college success, he is the real deal. As long as he stays healthy, he is going to put up numbers and have a legacy for Bengal fans, maybe like no other quarterback we've ever had. And you can tell already the poise that he shows and the leadership. I mean, he's in charge out there, and he's played 4 NFL games. No preseason games, by the way. And you can't say, well, he's a deer in the headlights where he doesn't, he's not adjusted. I'm confident in him immediately.
NFL had him mic'd up this week. I don't know if you were able to catch any of the
that
clips.
That was remarkable. Loved it.
It was absolutely stunning.
Loved it.
Is this a 22-year-old person out there? Is this a
No.
35-year-old grizzled vet?
Yes.
You couldn't tell the difference.
Fabulous.
And I like how enthusiastic he is for his team. That may be youth, because sometimes in the NFL it's really difficult to watch players who are not the most team-oriented players, and you know the usual cast of suspects, but he's absolutely all in with this group now, and it's talk about somebody wanting to earn his money. I don't even know if he considers that.
I think the game Sunday is not going to be a rout. What I look for, we're going to hang in there scoring with them. The problem is going to be holding them down.
Well, I think the key is going to
Lamar,
be
when he gets the ball outside and runs, he's remarkable.
he's unstoppable. But the key, watching the first 7-8 minutes, if Burrow's getting time or if the line's
Holding up.
giving giving up alleys for the defenders to rush through, and he's getting hit. He's losing yards. That's not going to be a good sign. Now, Jacksonville's defensive line and linebackers are nothing compared
Not
to
the
Baltimore.
Ravens, no.
But it was encouraging to see Alex Redmond get in there last
Yes.
week and do such a nice job at right guard.
Changed the whole tenor of the offensive line. It was a hole at the offensive right guard position that maybe's filled. Let's hope. Colette Farms Pioneer Seed is a family-owned and operated seed dealership offering Pioneer brand products, seed treatments, and trusted agronomic advice for over 45 years with the use of local data technology and digital tools. We help farmers maximize every acre's potential. Count on us to be there throughout the season, working directly with you. Colette Farms, Pioneer Seed, farmers just like you. Jeff, you got some first half numbers for us? Unofficial stats.
Unofficial stats, but we try our best to be as accurate as we can. In the first half for Marietta, quarterback Rhys Gerber was 8 for 18 through the air, 60 yards and 1 interception. On the ground, Tony Munoz had just 1 touch, 1 carry for -1. Zach Bartlett, 5 carries for 31 yards and a touchdown. And, of course, the biggest one there was the 22-yard touchdown run. Rhys Gerber at quarterback, 5 carries for 5 yards. Receiving, I've got Zach Bartlett, 2 catches for 10 yards. Donovan Wheeler, 3 catches for 20 yards. Tyson Schaefer, 1 catch for 7 yards. And Caden Durham, 2 catches for 23 yards. 5 first downs for Marietta in the first half. For Wilmington, getting his, again, first start of his career, Cameron Mcavoy had a nice first half, 6 out of 13 for 124 yards and a touchdown. Kendall France, 14 carries for 48 yards and a touchdown. Thad Stuckey, 2 carries, 17 yards and a touchdown. Thane McCoy, 1 carry for 2 yards. And Cameron McAvoy, 1 carry for -3 yards. Receiving, Isaiah Ringling, 2 catches, 66 yards and a touchdown. Carter Huffman, 2 catches for 41 yards. Jaden Tackett, 1 catch for 8 yards. And Adrian Cody had a nice catch for 9 yards.
27-7 Wilmington leading Marietta here at the Alumni Field. We're at halftime. John Roberts Excavating is located in Wilmington. It's a family-owned business since 1998. They are specialized and experienced in general excavation, sewer, storm, grading, field tile, drainage, land clearing, ponds, demolition, and paving. Look us up on Facebook or call 937-382-1788. I was filling up my pond today, Jeff. This little froggy has been around my house all summer. Today was the first day I'd seen him in a while. He looked like Shaquille O'Neal of the frog world. He had grown about 5 times his size since the last time I saw him. I didn't even recognize him. He was so big. I hadn't seen him for about a month, but boy, oh boy, I'm like, who is this dude? Is that the same little pipsqueak that's been hiding in my speakers? Now he's like center for the Lakers.
You're not going to think about having his legs for dinner, are you?
No, he's too nice.
That's
he's like
good.
an adopted pet, only he is too big now. It's like there's something out there he's eating to get so big. Maybe John Roberts Excavating, who knows about ponds, would have some guidance on that. I'll tell you, whatever that dude is eating, he's a big, big boy now, I'll tell you. Growing frog. Tell us about Shelley McCune Realtors.
Shelley McCune Realtors is associated with Coldwell Banker, and Coldwell Banker shines like no other. Only one real estate company has guided people home for over 114 years. Call Shelley McCune, who's with Coldwell Banker West Shell, your neighbor, your friend, your hometown realtor, bringing you exceptional service, honesty, and integrity throughout the entire home buying, selling process. And as you know, Tony, realtors do a great service in our society.
Yes.
The ones that particularly represent the buyers make sure everything is good. They're not afraid to stand up to other realtors if there's a problem. It's nice to see a realtor that's been around for 114 years or in office.
Teddy Roosevelt.
And that means they're doing a good job. And, just like anything else, There are some realtors that don't do so well under pressure circumstances, and there are those that know what they're doing. And Shelley McCune certainly is one
Imagine
that
a
knows what
business
she's
that's
doing.
been around since Teddy Roosevelt. Can you think of many other than Shelley McCune Realtors? I mean, seriously, think about it.
Is that before
General
the cars?
General Motors wasn't around in 1906.
Well,
I don't think Ford was either. That was after that.
Shelley McCune probably knows about Wells Fargo. I think they were doing stagecoaches still then. Now they're one of the biggest lenders out there.
Jeff, what do you think about the second half here at Alumni Field?
Who gets the ball? I don't remember. If Marietta gets the ball,
I think Marietta gets the ball.
yeah, I think that they need to get at least 3 on the board and keep things going a little bit. They had that drive at the end of the first half after they'd cut it to 24-7. And then it became 27-7, and they had the ball in very good field position and just couldn't get enough points. They really need, I think, to score on this drive.
Tony, yeah, go ahead.
You've talked about some of the fans that sit outside the fences
Yes.
with their cars, and they
Yes.
bring their patio chairs and everything. I was down there along the fence line talking to some of these avid Hurricane fans. They're excited about tonight's game, and they're hoping for good things in the second half.
That's Rick Phillips, who's in charge of this machine at campusnation.com. Rick, like a typical owner, operator, businessman, is down amongst the people. Even,
That's right.
even the ones across the fence who aren't supposed to be there, but they are because they love their Wilmington Hurricane. So here we go. Second half action is underway. Kick is returned to close to the 30-yard line. Let's reintroduce everybody. I'm Tony Mancuso, play-by-play. Jeff Merklin on the color, high school state champion, college quarterback coach, and general high school expert. The cameraman, Joe Holdren, wearing his autographed cowboy hat. Dean Thompson, Brandon Robinette, and of course Rick and Sydney Phillips, who we've heard from throughout, running the board, producing the show. CampusNation.com, YouTube channel, Campus Nation, 106.9 WZAA, the sister station in Jeffersonville. Second half, we're underway. There's a handoff into the line. Number 23, Zach Bartlett with the carry, Jeff. Gets about a yard or two, maybe.
You know, he's not your traditional
Speedster.
one back out of the
Right.
spread. He's
Yeah.
a bull.
Yeah, bull.
We talked a couple weeks ago about the fullbacks being extinct. He's running tailback, but he's a battering ram.
Folks,
back
you
there.
remember a guy that ran for the Browns named Peyton Hillis. Matter of fact, didn't that have the same number, 23, Peyton Hillis? There's a pass downfield by Rhys Gerber intended for Munoz, and the ball is batted down, but there's flags down. I think we're going to have a pass interference, Jeff.
It looked like the Wilmington defender had a hold of his jersey, but with these calls tonight, I have to tell you, we have to just wait and see.
I'm pretty sure Peyton Hillis was he 44 or 23? I think he was 23 for Cleveland. We're not fans of that outfit, so we don't memorize their numbers.
And as so often with that crew.
23 on the Bengals is all we care about. That's Darius Phillips, who's 23 on the old Browns.
Hillis was a
I don't know.
one-hit wonder, as I recall,
Yeah,
too.
but Zach Bartlett has a similar type of running style. There's a ball into the line again to Bartlett, who's stacked up short of the line of scrimmage, brings up second and about 11. See, we can name 23 for the Bengals, but we can't name Browns 23s.
And I don't feel bad about
No.
that, to be honest with you.
Corey Sawyer, a famous Bengal 23. There's a ball deep downfield, broken up. Who else could that be, Jeff?
I would say it's probably Carter.
Yes, it is. Carter Huffman on the defensive play.
Coach Killen was very concerned about Munoz, and you can see he's got a lot of talent. And that may have been one of the reasons for that onside kick in the first half, and also that they've squib kicked it, I believe, every time. They want to keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible because he's somebody that can hurt you on one play.
Brings up 3rd and 11 for Marietta. First drive of the second half, trailing 27-7. The Wilmington Hurricane leading here at Alumni Field. Opening round of the playoffs. Gerber flushed out, throws, and the ball is incomplete. Intended for number 3, Donovan Wheeler, but it falls incomplete. Looks like a punting situation. We don't see a kicker out
4th
there.
and 11, you're down 20. It's the playoffs.
What do you do? Go or punt?
Well, I think even I, who generally is conservative on playing field position, would probably go for it here.
Well, because you're in a situation where if you don't convert, if Wilmington scores again, it's going to be a long road for Marietta. So the coaching staff of Marietta is thinking we got to get points. So it's 4th and 11, and they're going on their side of the field. I don't know about this one. Gerber back to pass, is flushed out of the pocket. He's in trouble, and he is dragged down by number 58. Is it 58, Elijah Rockhold?
Looks like it. Nice play.
Yes, enthusiastic sack.
It's about a 16-yard sack there, Tony. Very nice play by the Wilmington defense. Looked like they had coverage on all the receivers. Well done by everybody.
Looked good on that play, Jeff. Tell us about McCune Painting and Renovation.
McCune Painting and Renovation, LLC, is located in Wilmington, Ohio. McCune is your trusted contractor with over 25 years of experience, offering interior and exterior custom painting and home renovations. Call Nevin today at 937-728-5585. That's 937-728-5585 for a free quote.
So here comes the Wilmington offense, set up beautifully at their Marietta 27-yard line, short field, 1st and 10, already leading 27-7. Mcavoy back to pass, is flushed out. He's got a lane. He's running down the sidelines, and he's still going inside the 5-yard line to about the 3, Jeff.
Tony,
what a nice run.
I'm going to turn the tables on you. He's left-handed, I know, but who does he remind you of running the football?
Boy, oh boy. Don't tell me it's my number 9 jersey, only it's number 13. Is it Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow, who...
Everybody reminds us of Joe Burrow. My goodness. We
may
need
be
more
a-
jerseys up here, Rick. Everybody wear a Joe Burrow jersey tonight, including Cameron McAvoy running around down there.
Good speed, not a
Yes.
sprinter, but good speed, and he's not afraid to go after some people
He
at the
looks
end
like
of
it, but he throws me off with the left-hander. But, hey, I think a lot of people are going to be talking about number 9 Joe Burrow for the next decade.
And Cameron McAvoy for the next year.
So it's 2nd and goal as Wilmington is threatening to blow this one open early in the 3rd quarter. Marietta did not convert on downs. Wilmington held at a big run by Cameron McAvoy coming out of the first play of that drive. So Wilmington's inside the 4-yard line on 2nd down and goal. McAvoy under center this time. Hands it to the up back. That's interesting. Is that Josh Snell with the carry?
Not much there.
I don't remember Josh with a carry all night or maybe all season that I remember. Not many.
Coming into tonight, Josh Snell had 1 carry for 3 yards.
Right. So there's his 2nd carry of the year. The fullback position. Same formation. And again, it's given to Snell, and how about that? On his 3rd carry of the year, Josh Snell, the fullback, scores another touchdown for the Wilmington Hurricane. Josh Snell, the sophomore, playing out of the fullback position on that formation, gives Wilmington a 33-7 lead, Jeff.
That was pure power by the Wilmington offensive line. I saw Garrett Steinmetz, a sophomore, make a nice block.
Parker Henry blasts the extra point.
Elijah Rockhold, who we just called on defense about a quarter ago. Really nice blocks by all 5 of those kids.
So Wilmington jumps out second half 34-7 over Marietta. Listen to that song. That's a Todd Rundgren special. It reminds me of Carl Pickens, catching touchdown passes.
Well, and that's a good lead-in for Ettinger Farms, Tony. Family-owned and operated, Ettinger Farms focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on their team can provide you with the perfect product for any operation and offer both delivery and unloading services. Ettinger Farms also sells both farm fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find Ettinger Farms on Facebook or visit their website at ettingerfarms.com.
We're making a reference to the music, jamming loudly here at Alumni Field. Todd Rundgren. Bang on the drum all day. It's always a popular touchdown song. There's the kick.
The squib again away
bounces
from
around.
Mason.
There he goes, Jeff. He's gone if he beats the kicker.
That
he is number 6.
No, I think that's Gerber.
Is it Gerber? It is Gerber going the length of the field, Jeff, for a touchdown return. Had only one man to beat, Parker Henry. He jumped out and takes it the distance.
Well, I don't know Marietta's special teams coach, but that gentleman is an ace. That's 3 touchdown or kickoff returns for touchdowns in 3 weeks for Marietta.
What a nice touchdown run by Rhys Gerber on the kickoff. You talk about shifting momentum back. Wilmington about had him buried, but then a kick return for a touchdown by Rhys Gerber, the quarterback. And the point after kick is good by 32, Dylan Meagle.
Still a ball game.
That was a shifting of momentum if you ever saw one. Wilmington goes in 34-7, and we're thinking this game might be over. But a long kick return for a touchdown by Marietta brings them back to 34-14, Jeff.
They can get a hold here and get another drive or get a drive going or maybe a punt return. It's a whole new game.
Tell us about Brown Funeral Home, Jeff. One
Brown
of our
Funeral
proud
Home.
sponsors.
It's here in Wilmington, and Brown Funeral Home is proud to support the student athletes of Clinton and surrounding counties. The hard work, dedication, and passion shown by these athletes are the same principles we adhere to at our funeral home. The team of Kevin Brown and Billy Earhart are always here to assist your family in your time of need. From pre-planning to at need, we offer a wide range of services that are economically friendly to all. To contact Brown Funeral Home, call 937-382-2247. That's 937-382-2247. You can also find them online at earhartbrown.com or on Facebook at Brown Funeral Home.
So Marietta kicks off a short return, and here we go again. This time it's big, number 55, Brett Brooks, rumbling and stumbling inside Marietta territory. You talk about shifts in momentum. A long kick return by Brett Brooks on a short kick.
I think that's the second time we've seen him do that this year.
He's got wheels. I'll tell you, he is a big kid.
He does. He gets those knees high, and
Yes.
it's almost dangerous to even think about
I'll tell
tackling
you what,
him.
I'm not tackling him. I'm sitting up here where no one can hurt me. What a big, rumbling kick return, and the momentum shifts back to Wilmington. The fans love the return. So Wilmington trying to answer the Marietta kickoff. They've got the ball on the 44 of Marietta, 1st and 10. And there's a handoff into the line to a fresh number 26, Thad Stuckey. And Thad crosses the first down mark about the 33-yard line. Nice run, Jeff. Quick hitter.
And Kendall France getting the rest. Coach Killen has really done a nice job this year getting each kid their touches.
Yeah, I agree.
And
It
I agree.
works.
I
It
agree
works.
tonight with Kendall France getting more carries. He's
Which
a
he
senior and a tremendous athlete. He's just really handling this team very well this year.
So 33-yard line, McAvoy wounds up and throws it downfield. Almost caught down there. Looked like Jaden Tackett, the intended receiver. Another sophomore, Jeff. But this sophomore class is loaded for them. My goodness, they must have been waiting for them for years to come up.
I'm sure that's the case. And, you know, as far as getting a win tonight, and regardless of what happens next week, can you imagine the good experience if Coach Killen can get this team up to play a game against DeSales?
No doubt.
What a learning experience, and what a great experience that'll be for this group.
And they're young, too. They got a lot of young talent. So the best is yet to come for the Hurricane. McAvoy, a handoff to another young running back. Stuckey breaking inside the 10, inside about the 6-yard line. It's Thane Stuckey again.
What I really like about Wilmington's offense is you've got the spread, you've got the quarterbacks to run the spread, you've got the running backs, but also you've got the power option with that I formation. And this is out of the spread. We have to go to the two runners in the backfield, and that's a power formation too.
And it's Stuckey with the ball carry. I think I called him Thane last time. That's his buddy Thane McCoy. It's Thad Stuckey, another sophomore running back. Thane, Thad, both sophomores. Very effective spelling each other for this Wilmington Hurricane running tandem. It's Stuckey with the bulk of the carries on this drive, Jeff, and he looks fresh. There's a handoff to Stuckey again, who rambles inside the 2. Big play here. It's third and goal. No, third. Is it goal or? Yeah, third and goal. So this is definitely fourth down territory here for Wilmington. They're going to go for it if they don't make it. There's that formation again. I look for another fullback carry to, and we were right, and he's going in again. How about that? Josh Snell with the touchdown. I could see that formation coming a mile away. It's the touchdown formation for the Wilmington Hurricane. Josh Snell, another sophomore. My goodness, this sophomore class just keeps coming for Wilmington.
I'd really like to know, and I should have done a little more research, what these kids did in junior high and as freshmen.
My goodness, this loaded sophomore class. The point after kick, the snap is high and getting out of there, and I think they converted it. What a play that was. Isaiah Ringling catches the bad snap, races around. The jailbreak is in play, throws it up, and it's caught by 23, Shane Griffith. What class is Shane Griffith? Another sophomore.
And Isaiah's a junior.
My goodness gracious. What would it be? Sophomore would be class of 23. They're loaded.
Hey, Rick, I'll take a reduction in salary to be able to cover Wilmington next year.
My goodness. Kingdom Exteriors, it's that time of year, and the projects you've been putting off still need to be finished. Yes, they do. Is a new roof one of those projects? One simple call could get that out of the way. Kingdom Exteriors specializes in residential commercial roofing, siding, and decks. Winter is coming, so trust their 30-plus years of experience serving the Wilmington, Lebanon, Greater Dayton, and Cincinnati areas. Call Kelly at Kingdom Exteriors, 513-696-9593. That's 513-696-9593, Kingdom Exteriors. It's Wilmington 42, Marietta 14, Jeff. Remind the fans about the running clock rule.
30 points in the second half, and you go to a running clock where it only stops on change of possessions. And I think penalties.
So we're not quite there yet. There's Munoz. Tony Munoz picking up the squib kick and bringing it to about the 35-yard line where he's knocked down by the Wilmington defense. So Marietta takes over 5:59, third quarter. Wilmington leading 42-14. Sam's Meats. Football fans, stop by Sam's Meats located in Wilmington, Ohio at 1209 West Locust Street to support a locally owned and operated business. Sam Meats has fresh chicken, pork, and beef along with deli cheese and lunch meats. Their meat deals are a great way to buy meat in bulk, helping you to save both time and money. First down carry. It's 23 again. Zach Bartlett. The dining room of Sam's Meats is open for you to enjoy homemade hot bar meals and their made-to-order grill menu. Sam's Meats also offers catering, party trays, and a variety of homemade desserts. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturdays. Go check them out. Sam's Meats. There's number 8, Rhys Gerber, being tackled for a loss, Jeff. And he's down.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, he's down. So
He's taking some shots back there at quarterback tonight.
out comes the training staff of Marietta as Rhys Gerber's on the field. I hope he's not hurt bad. My goodness, get up, Rhys.
He's a senior. This is his first year as starting quarterback for Marietta, and as we discussed in the pregame, he's got some good numbers. Has been up against it here tonight. Wilmington's had great coverage in their secondary. It looks to me like Wilmington's even mixing in some zone with their man coverage. It's been very deceptive, but he's still hung in there and done a nice job.
So Rhys being attended to and is up and walking off the field. Looks like might have had the wind knocked out of him, Jeff, because he looks okay. Tell us about Collette Farms.
Collette Farms, Pioneer Seed, is a family-owned and operated seed dealership offering Pioneer brand products, seed treatments, and trusted agronomic advice for over 45 years. With the use of local data, technology, and digital tools, we help farmers maximize every acre's potential. Count on Collette Farms to be there throughout the season, working directly with you. Collette Farms, Pioneer Seed, farmers just like you.
So it's 3rd and 11. New quarterback in for Marietta. Looks like number 16. Is it Tyler Gerber? I wonder if that's little brother.
Freshman.
I bet it is. And of course, with a new quarterback, the snap is mishandled. It's tough to come on the field as a freshman. You're down 42-14. Your brother, it's probably your brother. I'm not sure. We're not sure exactly, but there's a lot of brother combos that are quarterbacks.
Brings up a 4th down at 13.
So Marietta looks like they're punting the ball away. This looks like a fake formation, Jeff.
I think the punter's coming on now, Tony.
Okay, yeah, he was late to the field because that first formation was fake all over it, but the punter was late coming in. Nice kick. Huffman makes the catch, but then drops it and picks it up at about the 42-yard line where Wilmington will take over. First down on their own 42, leading 42 to 14 with 3:55 to go. Tell us about John Roberts Excavating.
Sure thing. John Roberts Excavating is located here in Wilmington, and it's a family-owned business open since 1998. John Roberts Excavating is specialized and experienced in general excavation, sewer, storm, grading, field tile, drainage, land clearing, ponds, demolition, and paving. Look up John Roberts Excavating on Facebook or call 937-382-1788. That's 937-382-1788 for a free estimate.
So 1998, where John Roberts Excavating started, we always have a little tidbit of, and there goes the other running back. Looks like Dane McCoy that time, Jeff.
those boys must have been really tough in youth football.
1998. Let's see up here who can guess what was the top and almost only news story of 1998. Come on.
Was that Princess Diana?
No, she died in August of 97.
I was close.
What's 98's big story? It was on it 26 hours a day, 8 days a week.
The Juice?
No. Juice had already been found not guilty by then. 1998's top news story. Come on.
I tell you, the synapses don't work like they used
Has
to.
anybody ever heard of Monica Lewinsky? Who's Monica?
Well, we try to not think about Monica.
Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky, 1998.
Impeachment.
All day and night long.
Nauseating.
Bill brought down by the infamous blue dress. But he survived the impeachment trial and finished out his term. Matter of fact, more popular than he ever was, Jeff.
I think he's still pretty popular, isn't he?
The 1998 top story.
I was 5 years old.
5-year-old Sydney Phillips, when she asked her mom and dad, what did Monica do with Bill that got her so much in the news? They didn't tell her, Jeff.
No. Well, I was upset that some boy poured chocolate milk on my pink
Right.
overall.
She's worried about chocolate milk on her dress, where Bill was worried about other things on Monica's dress. I'm being told to watch the references, which I do. I'm not going to cross the lines. Blue dresses are nice, right?
I like blue dresses.
Yeah,
Wasn't there a song? Devil with the blue dress?
blue dress on. Matter of fact, who knows if Bill was singing that to Hillary at night? Devil with the blue dress on. It's not my fault.
He may have been humming it at some point earlier.
All right, back to football here at Alumni Field. It's Wilmington 42, Marietta 14. Coming up on 2 minutes to go in the third quarter of the first round of the playoffs. Wilmington comfortably ahead and in control, been in control since the beginning, Jeff. And there's Thane McCoy with the carry, the other sophomore, the three-headed monster running back tandem. But really, it's been 4 running backs tonight because Josh Snell has 2 touchdowns.
Early in the game, Wilmington was having trouble in the running game. Marietta was getting a good push up front, and I think the tide has turned on that. Wilmington's front 5 has just been fantastic the last 2 quarters.
1:41 to go, third quarter. Mcavoy sprinting out to his left and throws incomplete. Intended for Isaiah Ringling. Falls incomplete. Brings up a 2nd and 10 for the Hurricane. Comfortably ahead, 42-14. First round of the playoffs, Wilmington leading Marietta. Shelley McCune Realtors. Caldwell Banker shines like no other. Only one real estate company has guided people home for over 114 years. Call Shelley McCune with Caldwell Banker West Shell. Your neighbor, your friend, your hometown realtor, bringing you exceptional service, honesty, and integrity throughout the entire home buying process. There's a long pass downfield. It is caught. Carter Huffman, who else on the receiving end? Mcavoy with a beautifully thrown ball downfield for Carter Huffman for another Wilmington touchdown. What a fantastic grab by Huffman. That was a tough catch. And our Adam Thielen clone brings it down, Jeff.
He brings it down, but that ball was just an absolutely beautiful throw. You can't throw it any better than that. We had a quarterback for Blanchester last week that had a beautiful spin on his ball. Cameron McAvoy's not too far behind him.
Parker Henry with the extra point. Now we get to Wilmington 49, and Marietta 14. Now, are we going to have a running clock even in playoffs, Jeff?
Yes, I believe so.
Tell the audience again about the running clock, and then we can debate whether we should have such a thing or not.
Well, with football, especially since if it's a score is great in favor of one team, there's usually a physical mismatch too. And so several years ago, the OHSAA implemented a rule that if a team is up by 30 points or more in the second half, you go to a running clock except in certain circumstances. And I think it's a good thing.
No.
You're wrong, but
I'm right. Because, listen, if we're not, here's what I've been saying for 7 weeks and for 7 years. If the score is 49-14, there's a minute 27 left. If we don't want to play to see who scores the most points in 48 minutes, let's just shut off the clock and save electricity and just play for an hour and play for funsies, and everybody can just say, nice game, and we're done. That's why we have a scoreboard. Teams score, teams have to stop scoring. And I don't believe it's fair to the kids to have a running clock. They're out here working their backs off all summer long preparing for the football season. They're practicing every week after school. They're doing weight training. They're doing nutrition training. Their lives are football during the football season. My goodness, they should be allowed to play to a true clock. Jeff, that's how it's supposed to be. But, of course, we're looking, and the clock's running, and everybody's in a hurry to get out of here.
One of our fans watching says a running clock is necessary. As a Massey fan, we are used to it.
Yeah, see, the Massey fans are used to it, but let's play. Why have a clock and a scoreboard if you're not going to keep track of what's going on?
Tony, I bring the perspective. I coached youth football in Marysville for 18 years. I was a junior high coach at a local school for 2 years. I just see it as these are minors, and
No,
it's a football
that's why
game.
you let them play, because they are minors.
I don't like it in basketball because you don't necessarily have the same physicality that you have in football. And I've seen mismatches, and it's not a pretty thing.
There goes Zach Bartlett. You're here to play football, not run clocks. So we come to the end of the end of the third quarter. It's Wilmington 49, Marietta 14, 49-14. Wilmington leading Marietta at the end of the third, and we're in a running clock situation. I don't like it. We could debate this all night long. I'd love to run a poll on the campusnation.net. .com. I said net.com. Campusnation.com.
Campusnation.net is fake. Farce.
Yeah, right. That's the fake one. It's .com. I'd want to run a poll to tell that Mr. Merklin is not right. The clock should be traditionally run. Stopping plays in between, like the normal rules, not running it out where these kids don't even get a chance to play. Tell us about McCune Painting and Renovation, Jeff.
McCune Painting and Renovation LLC is located right here in Wilmington, Ohio. McCune is your trusted contractor with over 25 years of experience. McCune offers interior and exterior custom painting and home renovations. Call Nevin at McCune Painting at 937-728-5585 for a free quote.
So we're in that running clock situation in the playoffs. 12 minutes and counting. Watch how fast this goes. What time is it? I want to see what time
it should be about 12 minutes.
No,
it's 9:09.
No, I want to see what time it is. It's 9:09. I'm not in a hurry to leave. Our audience isn't in a hurry to leave. These kids aren't in a hurry to leave. So 9:09.
I don't think the over 2,000 people watching.
Watch how fast we're going to be done with this. And then at the end, folks, send in your vote, because I hate to say we shouldn't have this rule, especially in the playoffs, Jeff.
Well,
Not in the playoffs at the worst.
I'm glad the OHSA Board of Directors
No,
and
they're
the
wrong.
principals throughout
They're
the
wrong.
state
They're wrong.
do the right thing.
No, they're not right. They're wrong. So here's a punt. The ball's rolling. The rest of this game is for what purpose? To watch a clock tick down? These kids worked hard all year long, especially the Marietta kids who are eliminated from the playoffs. I guess technically they can keep playing. I'm not sure if they've decided to keep playing. But here we go. There's a change of possession, and that stinking clock is running.
Well, there is a
Boo-hoo.
There is a line of thought that says this running clock scenario is like every kid gets a trophy in youth sports.
Wait,
And
at least it shouldn't run during changes of possession because this clock is just ticking away. And matter of fact, maybe it was a mistake because now it's stopped unless somebody called a timeout.
it should be a change of possession. It should be stopped.
Right.
I can't see
but
it
it
from
was,
where I'm sitting.
It was running. So if that, the officials should reset it if that's the case.
Tony, I want to give a shout out here to one of our listeners, Gary Baker. Do you remember the 2-point conversion that Shane Garrett kept his head and made such a nice play? That's his grandson, and that's a wonderful 2-point conversion.
Well, there's a change of possession, and they do reset the clock. It was running even during the change of possession, and I was about to scream bloody murder on this. But they did catch it and reset it. 10:50 to go, 49-14. Wilmington leading Marietta comfortably ahead. Now, we talked about this before, too. There's a pitch to number 24, Thane McCoy, who's run down at about the 31-yard line. Back in the good old days, the best Monday Night Football crew of all time and maybe the best announcing crew ever in any sport was Frank Gifford, Howard Cosell, and the Dandy Don Meredith. We talk about this before in games that are out of hand. Don Meredith, the former Dallas Cowboy coach, the whole country used to wait for Howard Cosell's halftime highlights, which we would stay up and watch as kids. And then toward the end of the game, Dandy Don's song when it was time to turn out the lights. And Jeff, especially with the running clock, which is a terrible rule, we're down to 9:40 to go. I think I can hear Dandy Don now making his appearance at Alumni Field singing, "Turn out the lights, the party's over." And matter of fact,
He's probably in full throat.
I think he was better than even I just did there.
Just a little.
Yes.
Tony, I want to notice.
That's how bad he was.
I want to note something here. You have change of quarterback now. Senior Peyton Hibbert has just been put in the game for that play. Nice 35, 40-yard pass to, is that Carter Huffman?
Yes, and I'm glad he's in.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
I'm
I
glad he's
feel
in.
for him, even though I don't know him or the circumstances. You're a senior, first playoff game, and the coach just has to make a decision that's best for the team. And I like that he came in, had a good attitude, and really threw a nice ball on his first play.
I do too. I like that he's in. Now, whether or not he likes his role or not, he's out there executing it, and there's a handoff into the line, and number 24, Thane McCoy, gains about 3. Clock's running, 8:29. This started at 9:09, folks. It's 9:14. And we're going to be out of here soon. And it's not fair to the kids. It's not fair to the officials. It's not fair to the teachers, the parents, the fans, the administrators, the broadcasters. It's a horrific rule, and I wish it would be eradicated from this earth. It's a terrible rule.
Don't hold your breath.
Terrible. Kids deserve to play.
Well, you know, the rules don't go into effect unless there's a great I don't want to say I know exactly how it
that,
works.
that
but
doesn't make it right that a committee decided
well,
it.
it may be the National Federation of High School, too.
Boo. They're wrong. Kids deserve to play.
Well, that's the national organization, and they run, have the rule
Am I
books
allowed
and
to
so
give
forth.
my phone number and website over this airwaves? Call my office. I'll debate any person on that committee. They're wrong.
Well,
I'm not afraid to debate those jokers because they're wrong.
Tony, I've coached.
We're here to play football.
Tony, I've coached youth football, as I said, and we went 5 years and won 5 titles, and I've also lost a lot of games. And I can only tell you that, at least in that setting, in the junior high setting, you just don't get that same feeling that you're getting, and when you're on the losing end, you're happy it's over and that your kids can get out of it without any injuries.
I've never heard of a kid ever who's been on a varsity high school football field who's made it this far. Now, I can understand if you're in 6th grade, but at the high school level that you've played your whole life and you're a high school athlete and you're saying, I'd like this clock to run because I don't want to play no more, no way. Ettinger Farms, family-owned and operated. Ettinger Farms focuses on providing its customers with the highest quality hay and straw. The experts on their team can provide you with the perfect product for any operation and offer both delivery and unloading services. Ettinger Farms also sells both farm fresh beef and pork to fill your freezer. Find them on Facebook or visit their website at ettingerfarms.com. That's ettingerfarms.com. Wilmington running out the clock comfortably ahead, 49-14, first round of the playoffs. They're going to advance, Jeff. Now, we don't know for sure, and we haven't heard, but Marietta's season isn't over yet if they don't want it to be, right?
That's a good point and a good question. They have 3 more weeks that they can schedule games if they want. Last week, I believe I told the audience that I'd talked to a couple coaches or athletic directors in high school. A couple of them are going to go forward and try to get their kids games, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Competitive games.
Oh, yeah, sure. Now it's great for you, right? Yeah. Let them
A
play.
game being competitive. Competitive is the key word there.
There's Hibbert into the end
Beautiful
zone,
throw.
and is it a catch?
Oh.
That ball looked like it was caught. What a throw by Hibbert to number 23, Shane Griffith, another of a super sophomore class of Wilmington. He caught the ball, Jeff, and the officials rule him out of bounds. But, boy, that looked like a touchdown from our vantage point. What a catch. What a throw.
Need a replay on that.
Yeah, if we had replay, that'd be overturned, folks. That looked like a touchdown. Maybe when you watch the broadcast back on the podcast, you'll be able to see if that ball was really a score or not. There's an injured player down for...
I believe it's Marietta's defensive back on that play.
Yeah, I'm surprised those jokers don't run the clock during an injured player. Thank goodness there's some saving grace to this.
Well, the rule
You have a kid down and the clock stopped. Thank you.
Well, the rule first came into effect in our state in 2014, and there was a big, I kind of remember this now, the previous season, the fall of 2013, I believe in the playoffs even, there were some extreme mismatches, and it just was not a pretty thing to see. Typically, the clock will the clock will be continuous except for change of possessions and a touchdown, of course.
It stopped on an injury there.
And an injury.
And timeouts.
timeouts.
And I'll say boo-hoo to what you just read. Jeff, like I said, you know my kids are from the Gahanna-Lincoln School District. I remember sitting at a Gahanna-Lincoln game. A team came down from Canada. Imagine what it took to get a team from Canada to come down. The traveling, the hotels, the arrangements, etc. Those kids got here and had to play under that running clock. Awful. Travesty. The Canadian government should have went to the United Nations and protested that. People are laughing, but that's the truth. Where was the Premier of Canada when you needed him?
Were you in charge of the Soviet Union about 30 years ago?
No, it has nothing to do with that. kids are here to play football.
And that's what they're doing.
No, they're not.
Nobody guarantees them even a second on the field.
With the running clock, that's not the way the game is. That's putting an artificial element in it, and it's anti-kids. It's anti-fans. It's anti-parents. Kids want to play. There's a handoff to number 24, Thane McCoy, as the clock runs. I'd love it if folks could ever somehow get a hold of Rick and Sydney and offer their opinions of whether, yeah, what are they saying? Tell us some of them, Rick. What are they saying? So they think I'm wrong. Do some of them think I'm right? No. I'm stunned. You're telling me no parent believes.
One of them said, "Oh my word, this commentator."
All right.
That's what she said.
All right.
That was probably back to the Monica.
No, that was literally.
There's a touchdown for Thane McCoy. And we get to Wilmington 55, Marietta 14.
Well, one thing that is important to know, Tony, is although the National Federation of High School Sports does have quite a bit of influence on the various associations in the 50 states, it appears to me that the mercy rule is an individual state-by-state thing. For instance, in Indiana, it doesn't start running, the clock doesn't start running until the score reaches 35 points. In Ohio, it's 30. And I'm wondering if any state doesn't have the mercy rule at this point.
And you say it started in 2014?
Fall of 2014.
Hey, what year did you win the state title?
1976.
Right. You didn't have a running clock, and neither did most of the parents when they played, the grandparents, their uncles and aunts. But all of a sudden in 2014, somebody deemed that we have to hurry up and leave.
Well, I remember one game.
I don't like it.
One game we played, we scored the first 6 plays.
Great.
And it really would have been better to have the running clock back then because it only affects the second half. In a situation like that, how much are you really going to get out of it as a coaching staff, as a kid? Sure, the kids get a chance to play more under a typical clock, but I think the overriding sportsmanship and the health factors are what I point to quite a bit.
Tell us about Brown Funeral Home.
Be happy to. Brown Funeral Home in Wilmington is proud to support the student athletes of Clinton and surrounding counties. The hard work, dedication, and passion shown by these athletes are the same principles we adhere to at our funeral home. The team of Kevin Brown and Billy Earhart are always here to assist your family in your time of need. From pre-planning to at need, we offer a wide range of services that are economically friendly to all. To contact Brown Funeral Home, call 937-382-2247. That's 937-382-2247. You can also find them online at earhart-brown.com or on Facebook at Brown Funeral Home.
The Marietta kick is returned by Carson Urban. He's handed the ball, maybe ceremoniously, because Carson is a senior playing in his final playoff game. Gets a kick return as a little bonus here at the end of the ball game.
And the freshman quarterback for Marietta is in. I believe he was in on the last series as well.
So Marietta.
Number 23, Zach Bartlett, the ball carrier.
Zach Bartlett with the carry. It's Wilmington 56, Marietta 14 with 3:15 to go and counting.
Well, I'd like to get some of these kids' names that are in the game now for Wilmington, but I've seen 2 where the numbers don't associate with the roster, so we'll do the best we can.
There's a snap that's over the head of the quarterback, number 16, Tyler Gerber, the freshman, but he hauls it in and runs it across the 25-yard line as the clock continues to tick.
Nice stick there by Julian Schaefer, it looks like.
2:40 to go and running. Wilmington 46.
That may be
Marietta
Schaffler,
14.
Tony. I'm sorry. And it's another one of your sophomores. That was a good stick.
What a class that's going to be. Loaded. There's a pass complete to number 21. John Brecker still on his feet.
Look at how the second stringers for Wilmington, the very younger kids, all fly to the ball. They're excited about playing. Now, I'll give that to you.
They should get the full benefit of the clock instead of being rushed on and rushed off. Those kids have worked so hard all year long. They should be playing, not rushed.
Well, it's a big picture thing as opposed to an individual issue.
There goes Bartlett, and I think he is dragged down. He looked like he was breaking away for a touchdown, Trev, but he brought down.
I'm trying to catch the kid that made an open field tackle who was about 1/3 the size of Bartlett. It looks like maybe 34.
So Wilmington,
24.
Marietta calls a timeout to get the clock stopped. 1:31 to go.
It's either Thane McCoy or I've got the number wrong. Regardless.
Kingdom Exteriors, it's that time of year, and the projects you've been putting off still need to be finished. Is a new roof one of those projects? One simple call could get that out of the way. Kingdom Exteriors specializes in residential and commercial roofing, sidings, and decks. Winter is coming, so trust their 30 years plus of experience serving the Wilmington, Lebanon, Greater Dayton, and Cincinnati areas. There's a pass complete inside the 20. Call Kelly at Kingdom Exteriors. The number is 513-696-9593 for Kingdom Exteriors.
Tony, this freshman Tyler Gerber for Marietta has done a very nice job in there. He's got a nice ball. I'm going to guess that's the younger brother of the starter. And he looks like this is important minutes for him. He'll probably be the starter next year. And
there's a pass into the end zone, broken up, nicely done.
Nice technique, good throwing motion.
Yeah, good throwing motion. A pass didn't get through, but the clock keeps running. 32 seconds and counting. (56-14), Wilmington leading. First round of the playoffs. They're going to advance. Gerber back to pass, fires into the end zone, out of bounds, incomplete. It's the younger Gerber in the game at quarterback, Tyler. And, of course, the clock runs, and they're not going to get another play, Jeff. Final score here at Wilmington. It's the Wilmington Hurricane advancing in the state playoffs. 56, Marietta Tigers 14. That quarter started, the running clock started at 9:09. It's 9:28, and we're done.
Well, Tony, I'm going to focus on how happy Wilmington is. Look at those kids out there.
Fired up.
I should have looked. This may be their first playoff win for this school.
Is that right?
I know they were in. They were in 3 times prior to tonight. I'm not sure they ever had a win.
Well, it's a big win, and the kids are excited. 56-14. Wilmington advances. Let's get some last-minute words in about some of our sponsors. Tell us about Sam's Meats.
Sam's Meats, football fans, stop by Sam's Meats, which is located here in Wilmington at 1209 West Locust Street, and support a locally owned and operated business. Sam's Meats has fresh chicken, pork, and beef, along with deli cheese and lunch meats. Their meat deals are a great way to buy meat in bulk, helping to save you both time and money. The dining room is open for you to enjoy homemade hot bar meals and their made-to-order grill menu. Sam's Meats also offers catering, party trays, and a variety of homemade desserts. Sam's is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6:30, and 8 to 6 on Saturdays. Check out Sam's Meats this weekend.
Colette Farms Pioneer Seed is a family-owned and operated seed dealership offering Pioneer brand products and seed treatments, trusted agronomic advice for over 45 years with the use of local data, technology, and digital tools. Colette Farms helps farmers maximize every acre's potential. Count on Colette Farms to be there throughout the season. working directly with you. Colette Farms, Pioneer Seed Farmers just like you. Jeff, 56-14. What's some of your final thoughts about the game action?
Great game for Wilmington, well played, and for this program, the chance to go up 71 and go into Columbus and play St. Francis de Sales next week is fantastic for the program no matter what happens. I'm excited to see this team. These young kids play together. They're excited about the game. They're extremely well coached. This is a nice program that Coach Killen's developing.
The Marietta Tigers bow out of the playoffs, but like we said, under the new format, they got a chance to keep playing if they want. We don't know officially if they're going to or not, but a fine job tonight done by the Marietta kids. They're on the short end of a 56-14 score. Let's wrap it up here from Alumni Field at Wilmington. Let's throw some thanks around. First of all, it's campusnation.com. As you know, the game will be available on podcast on campusnation.com, the YouTube channel of campusnation.com. Always listen to our sister station, 106.9 WZAA out of Jeffersonville. The camera people, as always, tremendous job. Joe Holdren, Dean Thompson, Brandon Robinette, Rick and Sydney Phillips running the board and the operations of campusnation.com. Jeff Merklin, another great job as the color analyst and expert former state champion quarterback. I'm Tony Mancuso, and we'll see you next time on campusnation.com and Ohio High School football.